Well, hello everybody. This is Christine Bertram, and I am coming to you live from the Hive here in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. It is the first Thursday in April. How does that happen? That is a very good question, but here we are. And I will warn you guys, I have 3 kittens kind of like trapped in the hive with me right now. One is currently looking out the window for squirrels and birds and all the good stuff, and the other 2 are around. So I'm going to be listening for scratches in case they want to get out, but we're going to cross our fingers and hope that they make it okay for us for the video. And we'll see how it goes, right? We have the quarterly order-based class that we're going to be doing today that features Twisted in Time. I'm going to start off by saying there's lots of kits available. We made more than what we probably needed to in the short term, but in the medium and long term, if you're watching this video out in the future, don't hesitate to reach out. It is an order-based class. Once a quarter, Diane and I create a class that helps us to finish our quarters as strong as we can with a sales perspective. And so this quarterly order-based class came into existence maybe 2.5 years ago. so how it is for this class is it's order-based, meaning it's free with a minimum order. And at the current time, using a host code, which host codes still are in effect until, for me, April 14th. And starting on the 15th, you won't need to use a host code, but you'd want to make sure I'm selected as your demonstrator if you want to earn free classes with me. And it's free with a minimum order of $60, and at the moment using the host code. Now there is a perk for my Be Happy Stampers. If you're on my team, the Be Happy Stampers, you have the option of paying for this class if you would like to. Kind of like a little incentive for if you don't want to necessarily purchase the product, or like, let's say purchase product to get the class for free, then you have that option. So it's like one of the things that I like for my team to have a little extra perks for things, and that's open to anybody on my team, the Be Happy Stampers. So you guys are gonna laugh, but I was just like holding Tigger, and now I feel like I have his cat fur all over my face. So that's how that goes. Hi, Sherry Martin. Hello, Sherry Everett. Hi, Becky Gandolfo. And there's Donna Grushki. Hi, Mary Lemke. She'll be here before we know it. Hi, Jamie Kirkpatrick. And there's Linda Krause. Hi, Susan Bellamy and Randy Schultz. Hi, Karen Karstay. And Elaine Reback. Hello, Kathy Jackson from Iola, Wisconsin. Hi, Connie Moore. And there's Julie Damaris. You got Wintry, Minnesota. So we have, I don't know if you guys can see this shining light on me, but we have a very bright, sunshiny day right now. So if I flip, I'm gonna keep saying hi, but I'm gonna flip you guys so you can see how bright it is. It's bright. So oh yeah, it's okay. We like the sunshine around here, so we don't always get it. Hi, Nancy Mole. And there's Debbie Gass. Hi, Karen Woods. And Sarah Mitchell. Hello, Mary Carls from Jericho. Hi, Kelly and Jean Terwilliger. Hi, Judy Sharp. And there's Maria Gilbertson. Hi, Cheryl. And Jean Shute. Hi, Linda Scott. Okay, so you guys, I just saw Debbie Gass' name, and it made me think of Zelle. And Judy Sharp also, too, made me think of Zelle. At the last minute of the last hour of the last day, I got it figured out, and I got Zelle set up. I did have to go back to Chase in person on Monday morning, and we had to transfer my account from a savings account to a checking account, which is not really what I wanted to do, but it is what it is. And instantaneously, as soon as he had the account transferred from a savings to a checking account, I had Zelle on my phone. And for those people who have been paying me via Zelle, perfect. You guys can keep Zelling me. And the other thing about it too is you don't have to use Zelle or have Zelle to pay somebody in Zelle. I can request money from people via my Zelle app. So I have the Chase app, and there's a section in there for Zelle. So I can request money from people using Zelle. So if that's something you would prefer to do, I think we could experiment and try that on some people, right? Doesn't hurt to try. So you guys are gonna have to see if you have any kitten sightings. I hear one, I just don't know where it is. So, send some sunshine, send some sunshine west. Yes, boom, go that way. But I'm gonna do roll call as long as I have the book in front of me. Yeah, Zelle is awesome, you guys. The great thing about Zelle, it's better than PayPal, it's better than Venmo, it's better than Cash App for me. because it goes directly into my checking account. I do not have to transfer it. And it's just a money to money transfer, which is amazing. So if anybody that pays me not through Zelle and would like to pay through Zelle, let's experiment and see see if we can make it work, right? All right. So first on our list is Sandy Coy Emery, Julie Bontringer, Donna Grushke, Karen Woods, Sherry Martin, Leslie McMinn, Connie Moore, Becky Gandolfo, Trisha Fagley, Linda Scott, Angelique McClendon, Susan Bellamy, Angela Knutson, Mary Lemke, and Feline Mays. So that's a very small list, you guys. So we prepped a lot more by about 20. So we have plenty of these kits available. And I think, and I hope, after you see me make the cards tonight, you might consider adding this class to your list of your wishes, and sometime in the future adding it to your package of classes that you get from me. We will have it available for a long, long time, I would have to guess. So I like to give a shout out. Oh yes, so Maria, definitely, we will try it, and if it works, I would love it, because then I don't have to do any transferring. I might have to set up the initial request, but it'll be a good test of the public broadcasting system. But a big thank you to everybody who did sign up for this class. We appreciate your support. And Diane did this class last night. I think she had 5 lovely ladies here in person. So yeah, it's going to be a good class. It's called Twisted in Time, and I have the stamps here. I'll show them to you in a little bit. But there's some trickery to it, and nobody really has these kits in their possession because we kitted them up last week. And most people, I think everybody from that list, is set up for an April shipment. So today is the 3rd. Our big shipping day is set for next week, Wednesday. You guys, we kitted up 3,252 cards since last week, Tuesday. So we kitted 5 days, last week, Tuesday, last week, Thursday, big full days. And we kitted Tuesday, Wednesday, of Thursday of this week. And between those 5 days, we kitted 3,252 cards, like kits. Tammy gave me a list. Honey, oh my goodness. She's playing with the sun charm on the window. Tammy gave me a list of all the die cutting that her and her mom did. And it was before we gave her one more round, and there was probably at least a couple 100 more pieces that we gave her on Tuesday that she brought back last night. And the piece of paper that she sent back to me was like 10,700 pieces were die cut. Take a deep breath and take that number in, because that's a lot of die cutting. We have 10 classes that we're offering in the month of April that involve kits. Way more than normal. That's 5 more than normal. Normally we have our core 5 classes, but we have 5 add-on things this month. And that doesn't even include bingo. I don't even know. I'm supposed to have a bingo on Monday night, an Easter bingo, and I haven't even thought about it yet. And I think what I need to do is, if you normally do bingo with me in person, you should reach out to me and tell me if you want to do it. We'll do it. And if you don't, we might just take the night off and catch up on emails a little bit more. How does that sound? So I've been picking away and chipping away at the emails little by little. Thank goodness I have Carissa helping me with the enrollments, the CBC enroll. We do I'm going to go on a couple different paths. I did work with Carissa this past month since the showcase that happened for April. And we came up with a new strategy or a new attack plan. So we might have confused a few people in the process. We're not quite certain. But what happens is there's so many intricacies and nuances with the whole signing up of classes. And there's so many specifics sometimes that this person has this and this person has that, and this person has a credit and this person has a class loyalty and then all of a sudden things get missed. And between the two of us, we capture and correct almost everything. And so what we've transitioned to in the last couple weeks, and you guys might have caught this if you've sent an email to Carissa at CBC Enroll, what she's been helping me the last 2 weeks is she collects the emails and processes them in our Google shared spreadsheet. And then she writes up the response and she forwards that to me. And then I proofread it and double check for everything. So we're checking each other really good. And then I've been the one that's been sending the email and copying her on it, because if what was happening for January and February is I was getting the email from her, proofreading it, correcting it potentially, or just saying, yep, perfect. But I was stop and then sending it back to her. And then she might not be in her email. You guys, she doesn't live in her email. She works a job, a full-time job, 8 to 5, right? And she has a night, like she's got a life outside of work too. So she's not in her emails religiously checking them for me every day, right? So people would sometimes have to wait 2 to 3 days before she would get back in to respond. So we thought we'd eliminate that step of me sending it back to her by having me just send it to you with her on copy, and then she can update anything that needs to get updated. So you might have gotten confused over the last week that, well, wait, I sent the email to CBC Enroll, but now Chris is emailing me back. I'm confused, right? But I don't think you probably wondered like if it was me or her, but either way, we got a response back to you a lot quicker, I think, doing it that route. And so just a little bit of I just want to let you guys know that that's what we're kind of transitioning to. Between the two of us, we are keeping a lot of it straight, more straight than if it was just one person. So, but yeah, so that was just a little update. I feel like I had another update or two. Oh, we were talking about cards and kitting and how much stuff has been kitted. So it's been amazing. I know Mom and Diane left today and they were like, whoosh. Karen Weststein came in. She stopped in after helping out at the farm, and we missed some embossing. So it's always people show up at the right moment at the right time to help us get everything done. And we've got everything laid out except for 3 classes out of 10, right? So 3 out of 10 just need to get their card kits married up. The golden tickets are already written out. And now what happens is we'll come in next week and we'll marry up all the card kits. So somebody that takes 5 classes will have all their 5 classes pulled together so that by the time Wednesday comes into play, we're ready to do shipping. And my mom can only help in the morning for about 3 hours. So we're planning to ship as much as we can on Wednesday and then finish it off on Thursday. So between Wednesday and Thursday is the bulk of our shipping. And then that will be, you can still get classes and get your kits mailed to you after that. It's just that that's what we're for. Anybody who's really registered for classes by the end of this weekend, I'm going to make sure that they ship out on this first bulk mailing. There's what was I going to say? There was something else I was going to say. Oh, there are a few classes we've sold out of, so please don't ask for them because Diane said I have to practice saying, no, we are not making more kits. We haven't run out of kits for the last 2 months. Between January, February, and March, really, we didn't run out of much except for the Technique Club class, but I only had made 16 of those, and that was based off of I know who's really planning to take those classes. We generally have almost everything available except for maybe the February monthly class and maybe one other one. Otherwise, everything else for January, February, March is way over. We made extra. And come April here, we made, for the game night, we originally made 60. And by the time that Carissa and I could connect on Sunday to go over our numbers of, because people still reach out to me and people are reaching out to Carissa, and now we have to consult and check. And so Sunday we spent a couple hours going over different classes and comparing our notes, and we had overcommitted by 8. And when it's 8, it might as well be 12. So we decided to kit up 12 more of the game night in the next 3 or 4 days. We're going to pull it together. All the die cutting's already done for it, and I got Kieran helping me cut the card stock. And so we're going to make the 12 more, but you guys, those 12 are already accounted for. And so we ended up with 72 for game night. So big kudos to Angelique McClendon because she helped me design those cards, and you guys absolutely love them. It's the Fun Folds class, and I have them right here. I'm going to show them to you because this is what we're going to be doing next week, Thursday, for class. I think you guys love the star card because I love the star card. This is one of my favorites. So it's a star card. We're going to show you how to make that. And you guys didn't need to have the stamp set for this. You needed only to have sentiments. And this was a hidden message inside here. So this is what we have for class next week on the 10th of April is the game night. Okay. So the people that are on my list, what I'm going to do is probably send out a group email and just let everybody know who's on the list. And I will have to include in that email, I think I'm waiting for lucky numbers from about 15 people. and I need to get them logged. I hate logging them the day of or the night before because it's stressful for me to wait till the last minute to tie up loose ends on a class. So I'm going to try to, within the next 24 hours, send an email out to the 72 people. Well, I have 8 in person, and then the other 64 are going to be getting their kits mailed or porch pickup. So I'm going to reach out to the 64 who are doing game night with me and make sure I get your lucky numbers logged by the end of the weekend is my goal. So yeah, but you guys, please don't ask for any more game night. If you haven't received confirmation from me yet, you most likely haven't. There's only 1 or 2 people I need to get back to. The other one is the Thoughtful Wishes, Memories, and More class. We had originally planned for 32, and we are up to 40 now. So we had originally cut for 32. Before we kidded, we cut a set of 8 more. So we are at 40. And I think at the moment I only have 1 left because somebody just canceled on it. Somebody was on the wait list and they canceled, which was perfectly fine. But I'm putting it out there. I only have 1 left, a full package with the product and everything for the Thoughtful Wishes, Memories, and More class, where you're making 18 cards. So it's quite the stack. It's not a Stamp-A-Stack, it's a Memories and More class, but that is out to April 15th for that class. So I guess whoever would message me first in the comments here that says they want it, I'd probably say you got it, and we'll put you on the list for it. And Donna asked, can you explain the bidding that is before the team meeting? So Donna, I'm not going to talk about it so much now because I'm going to talk about it for the auction. We have a team auction on Sunday before the team meeting, and I get prizes that are Stampin' Up! Prizes and classes and potentially card kits. I grab prizes based on who RSVPs, and you have auction bucks based on an email that I sent last night, so you know how many auction bucks you have, and you can bid $5 increments or $5 increments, and it's like an auction. So I will talk about it more when we're doing that, but I feel like that's like, if I say it to you now, I'm going to end up repeating it again on Sunday. So we're going to start the team auction at 1:30. I'll try to get on the Zoom about 1:20, and right at 1:30, we're going to start talking about how you can bid and all that good stuff. So, but yes, I'm excited. I've got 76 people who earned auction bucks, and so it's one of those things you have to be present to participate, though, to get in on some prizes. I've never used or heard of Zelle until I started following you in January, but willing to try it if you want to see me as a guinea. All right. Okay, Julie. Well, so the next time you have to send me money, when you know that is, just say, hey, I want to try Zelle. Okay, so that would be great. Anybody else that Deb Norman says, just say no. Hi, Kathleen Ketterman. Yeah, so anybody else that wants to try Zelle with me, the next time that you need to send money to me, when we know what your total is, just say, hey, let's do a test of the public broadcast system and see if we can get me to send you a request to Zelle me money. And all you have to do, hopefully, is respond to and you might get an email or a text or something, and then hopefully you follow the prompts to do it, and it shouldn't be so hard. Am I on the list for the Thoughtful Memories and More? If not, I will take it. So I don't know, Jean. I'll take the Memories and More. Hi, Suzanne Deppes. So I also saw just now that Maria, but so Jean, shoot, you are not on it, and neither is Maria. So the only thing is that it's a full class. It includes the ephemera pack, the gems, the ribbon, the Memories and More pack. So hi, Sandy Quay Emery. So between you and Maria, you'll have to figure out who wants it. Okay, so Barbara Tyler, I've already got 2 people that are interested in it. And you guys, here's my my deal. If I have like 8 people that tell me that they would like it, we'll make 8 more. But Deb Norman just told me to say no. So how do I say no to you lovely ladies? It's so hard to say no. To kit up 1 more is not realistic, but to kit up 8 is not so crazy, right? Because by the time you do 1, 8 is not much more. It's called the economies of scale when you're kidding, you guys. So if I know that Barb Tyler and also Jean and Maria are all interested in it, and there's potentially 5 more that are interested, I can see coming together and getting 8 more done. So Yes, hi Becky Gandolfo. So just we'll play it by ear. Maria, you were technically, I saw your post come in first, and so I would probably give you first dibs. Hi Becky Schlossnagel, and then we'll go to Jean and then Barb. But we'll see. Hi Nicole Herrick. I would love to get one too. See, you guys, just like that, we're already up to 4. So we'll see. If anybody else is also interested in it, please don't hesitate to reach out. Because at this point, if we have 4 and I can say 8, I have all the paper, I have everything to do it. And I'll be honest with you, the Thoughtful Wishes for me is probably one of the easier classes to kit because I don't really have to reach out to Tammy or Sandy for die cutting, which is pretty cool. All right, Debbie Ebersbacher, she just had to change her bank account and now it works. Yes, exactly. Hi, Joy Moody. Zelle was pretty awesome. All I had to do, you guys already had a Chase login because I have a credit card with Chase and I had my vehicle loan through Chase. So I have an account already with a username and password. So I just had to go to the bank and I already had their app on my phone. So I just had to go to the bank, open up a checking account. And as soon as I had the checking account opened up, I had the app on my phone that had already put Zelle in there. And so there's a spot in there for me to request money. And so I think it'll be pretty cool. I hope it'll work good. Okay, and Maria really does want it too. Okay, perfect. So, Stampin' with Mama G commented. Yes, so you guys, there is a kitten sighting here. There's a tail right here. And so yes, anybody, so I'm already at 4, so I can already see doing 4, Memories and More. So if anybody else is interested, we could do more. So besides the Thoughtful Wishes, Memory and More, and the Game Night, those are probably the only 2 classes that are really close. Like Game Night, I'm not going to do more. That one, that's a lot of work to do that one. You guys, fun folds are a lot of work to prep. And we make it so easy for you to make these awesome fun folds that it's so hard to resist a fun folds class, I'll be honest. Whose tail? That was Hunky Noodles. That was Hunky Noodles' tail. All right, you guys. What else? I do have Happy Mail for you guys tonight. It is the first Thursday of the month, so I also have prizes to go through. I have a sheet here of names on it that I have that will pick out winners for the challenges that I have, announce the top fans, share, create, inspire, all that stuff. And then on top of it, I have a drawing. I decided to do that. I have 4 stamp sets here that I took everybody's sales of who ordered $50 or more. And every time you did that with me last month, I'm going to do a drawing. And I have 4 stamp sets that I'm going to give away. And then I also have the Wildly Flowering class cards from July that, what are you eating? From July that I'd love to give away. She's eating the plastic. Honey likes to chew on things, and there's a plastic case from the dies that she... Honey. Stop it. She's chewing on the case. I did really good there. I stopped her for a moment. Okay, so anyways, this is what we're going to be working on tonight. We designed 3 amazing tree cards, right? And we got so sick of trees that by the time we got to the 4th card for this class, we're like, we can't do any trees. We're treed out. So we're going to make these momentarily. And I did want to remind you guys, we are rocking and rolling with the MS. I had announced in an email earlier in the week that I was going to go live with Bonnie tomorrow morning around 10 to 11 o'clock. And I've told a few people that. And we are not ready with the baskets. We had people that lost track of the time and they are having stuff delivered here yet. And if we do the live tomorrow, we're going to be missing a handful of baskets. So we made the executive decision that we're going to go live Monday morning instead because some baskets are coming in on Sunday. So Monday morning is when we're going to do the MS Benefit raffle basket walkthrough. Okay, so sorry to put the delay a little bit on it, but I feel like it'll be a better, more wholesome video if we have more baskets in it to show off. And the benefit cards are doing amazing. We kitted up out of 152. We've got 24 of them that are going to be made up. And I only have 5 left of the made up ones that we're accounting for. The rest of them are kits. And you guys are amazing because you take the kits from us. And so that really frees up my helpers' time that we don't have to sit and make cards. So of the 120, out of the 152, 24 got made up, but the other 128 are as kits. We have about 30 sets of the kits left. So that's pretty cool. And there every day, a few more people sign up for the MS Benefit, and we really appreciate that. So we're down to, I think we have 110 total signed up out of 152 That means we have 42 left. Okay, if I did the math, that's something about right, 30, 32 to, and then 5. So, but anyways, the cards are awesome, you guys. So you can get the kits for these, and I'm doing a YouTube live class on it on April 15th at 1 p.m. So you would be able to watch how to make the cards. You really don't need to have a lot of stamps. A sentiment, you guys, a sentiment, some sea urchin type things here, because these are stamped, and then a sentiment and some trees. And a lot of us have trees. So we really, Sherry Pyre and Cheryl Taylor really designed these with the thought of not having to necessarily own a lot of stamps to be able to make these beautiful cards. And with the $40 donation plus shipping, so if you need it shipped to you, it's an extra $6. But for the $40 donation, all $40 is going straight to the National MS Society. So that's pretty cool. And then I have these here too. I just wanted to throw these out here. This is the monthly class for this month, which is going to be coming up in a couple weeks. So I wanted to share that with you guys too. So with that being said, we are going to be working with this set called Twisted in Time. This is an online exclusive, and the online exclusives are available to see only in the online world, or if you have my Beekeeper's Guide or anybody else that puts together a document that shows stuff. But Twisted in Time is on page 40 of the Beekeeper's Guide. So I can show you what the stamps look like here. So page 40 is where we have it listed. And it has dies that go with it. And the dies look like this. So we used a lot of the dies. And we will be using one tonight because one of the cards we do stamp the tree. And then we're going to need to die cut it or fussy cut it. So I think Diane learned yesterday that the girls might have preferred to fussy cut it, but we are going to, I'm going to show you how to do the die cutting if you have it. Hi, Cindy Rentry. Karen says she loves the kits. Yay. Hi, Judy Bobo. So the Beekeeper's Guide, you guys, I did receive word from compliance yesterday. You guys, I said I was going to reach out to compliance, Stampin' Up! To compliance, and ask them about selling this document. And they said it is against compliance for a demonstrator to sell anything that is a reference tool or a catalog type thing that takes pictures of Stampin' Up! Stuff. And so it is against compliance. So the question came up and people keep saying, oh, I wish you could sell it. I wish you could sell it. I can't. So every time you sell it, you say that, it makes me feel a little bit like my heart breaks a little bit that I can't sell it, but I don't want to get in trouble or jeopardize my demonstratorship with selling it. So the way that you can get it from me is by earning it by supporting me and my business, my small business. So by purchasing classes or PDFs or purchasing product from me. I guess that's how I have it so that you can earn it. So yay. Okay, so I did get to hear that result yesterday. So I did pull in a sentiment here from the Faith Collection, let your faith be bigger than your fears. I also pulled in this tree here from Loveliest Tree. If you have this tree, you could use that for the card as well. There's this one card that has a tree on it that is stamped. I pulled in a sentiment from Mixed Labels. We pulled in Happy Birthday from Darling Dino. And then we used some of these stamps here from Twisted in Time. So just a little heads up on what we used for this, in case you're curious. I do have, Kelly did the kits classes last week. So I wanted you guys to just make sure that if you're interested in kits, that you check out her kits classes. I thought I'd share that with you. And then also, after class, what we'll do is we'll come back and I've got swap cards here that I can show you from my team swap. And I have, let's just hope I don't forget, right? I have Happy Mail. So I did get a bunch of envelopes in the mail or hand delivered. So this is my bucket for after, you guys, so I don't forget. We're gonna do prizes, right? And we'll come back to that in a moment. We'll get working on doing some cards here so that you guys can make your card. Now, again, I don't think anybody really has their kits for this class. So a lot of you are probably just going to be watching and following along and probably working on other things so that when the time comes for you to get your kits, you can definitely make them. So, all right, let's get started. So kits over here. All right. So for those of you that did this class with me, you're going to get it in a package that looks like this with your cellophane's going to be shut. And you're going to get 3 6x6 pieces of designer series paper. Now, if this paper doesn't look familiar to you, that's okay. It was also an online exclusive only, and it's called Sweet Days. Oh, nope, yep, it's called Sweet Days of Autumn. That's actually, that says graceful greenery or gracefully something vellum. I think that this paper is in here in case you guys do have the Beekeeper's Guide. I'm pretty sure I had Kelly. Yep, she's got it in here. It's called Sweet Days of Autumn Designer Series paper, item number 166498. Now, this says $12.50. You get 12 sheets, but the thing about this is it's a little bit different for paper. You get 4 of this set, 4 of this set, and 4 of this one. So it's not like a normal pack where you get 2 of 6 pages. And the other thing is they moved this to the last chance list. So if you guys are going into your store, the Stampin' Up! Store, they moved this to the, it's called the last chance list now. And I think it's at a really reduced price. I think we gotta type Sweet Days. So if you like this designer paper, they have it on the clearance, it's not the clearance rack, but they call it the last chance list. It's now down to $6.25. Now, it wasn't there when we originally designed these cards. We didn't know if it was gonna, like, what's happening, but it is on the last chance. So if you really like this paper, you can get a pack of it for $6.25. There's also a pack here that you can get with a sticker sheet for just a little bit more. That's not on sale though. So that's $17. So if you can live without the sticker sheet, I would definitely go for that other pack that is on sale for $6.25. And these are the sheets that you get. You get 4 that look like this. You get 4 that look like that. And 4 that have the green with the Cajun on the back. They're very pretty. So it comes though as the 12 by 12. And what we did for this class is we designed it in a way that you're going to cut your own DSP. So we give Karen Wetstein some time off from cutting designer paper. And it comes in a cellophane like this, and you'll have 4 card kits. And your golden ticket says the name of the class, Twisted in Time, and then today's date is the 3rd. So if you go to the events calendar for today, you'll be able to see the replay or catch the link for the replay for the video. So hi, Holly. Okay. These kittens, it's like, oh, like kids. Okay, I don't know which one to start with, but because I like them all. But what we're going to start with first is we're going to cut our designer paper, because I think we want to make sure we get that done accurately and not leaving you guys floundering on the cutting of the paper. Because I know how much some of you love to cut paper. Okay, so I think we're going to start with the easiest one first. This brown piece, which matches with the petal pink. So what happens with this is you have enough to do your envelope flap, your top, and then your inside. So the thing is you want to cut at 3 13/16 first. Now for those of you who don't like the 16th, go up or go down. And I would go to 3 3/4 if you don't like the 16th. But we're going to do 3 13/16, and then 5 1/16, or 5. And then what happens is this piece right here is for the top. You have a little section here for your envelope flap, and then this piece will be used on the inside. Now, these cards all ended up being vanilla. So you'd want to look for the one that is the brown, which is the top one here, and you can just insert those pieces there, and we'll put that card like that. Jean Shoot, this is not a fee-based class. This is an order-based class. So this class was for my team. They could purchase it for $22 plus shipping, or if you're not on my team, the Be Happy Stampers, then it was free with a $60 order. All right, this guy we could do next. So we have 2 pieces here, and then we need a piece for over here. So we really have to be strategic about how we cut this, right? So this piece right here, there's actually 2 of them that you're going to need. And then look, there's even a strip left for right there. This one, you're not going to have enough left over to do an envelope flap. And our DSP is 3 13/16 by 2 5/16. And then this right here on this card is about 3 13/16. So what I want to do first is I'm going to cut 3 13/16, right? Because what I'm going to do, if I cut it at 3 13/16 here, I'm going to have my panel, and I think then I have this left over for this piece down here. And I think that's how that works. And we're going to go for it. 3 and 13. Sherry would like to purchase this class. I think, oh, Sherry, I think, okay. Sherry and Jeannie Parker and maybe one other person. I do have you on the list for this class. I just haven't written you in my book yet. So Sherry Everett, I sent you your class list last night, your order, and this class is on it. I'm pretty 100%, I should say 99% positive. I was more concerned about getting the email to you, and I just haven't logged my book yet. So Sherry, I think you're on the docket for every class in the month. And Jeannie Parker, if you're watching this, I didn't call for your name either, but you're getting this class too. Okay, so Sherry, I think you're good to go, okay? Check your email, Sherry, because I've sent it to you twice now, and I don't want you to be missing it. So we're doing 3 and 13/16. All right, and then the number was 2 and 5/16. So 5/16 is here, and then 5/16. So 2 of them that are the same. Hi, baby cakes. All right, so what we've done here, hello, honey buns. What you doing? I'm just supervising, Mom. You're not really paying attention to me, so I just want to put myself out there for you. Thanks, honey. Okay, so we've got these 2 here, and then what's left, get out of there. You little sneaker. We have 1 plant in here, and she has to go find it. All right, so this is the piece that's going to go here. What's left is something you could utilize for an envelope flap. Now, you're going to have to pick and choose because it's either got to be this card or this card, and you're not going to get to do an envelope flap and this, right? So if you want your insides, then you could maybe save this and use it for both of your insides, but you can't have it all because you got 1 piece and you got to be strategic about how you use it. So we just want to make sure that you have the DSP you need for these 2 cards. Kelly, I have not received an email. Oh, so Kelly. So you guys, the bottom one here. So Kelly, I have been seeing your emails and I'm so happy. Okay, so speaking of Kelly Gibson, Kelly makes me worry, you guys, because she will message me. Nothing bad for Kelly, but this is a good learning exercise for absolutely everybody. Her and one other person both reached out to me, one person on my live last week, and said that they were missing a class from me in their package that I had mailed out last month. And I'm like, oh man, really? Because it makes me worry that, like, what did we do? What we missed mailing? And you guys hear that we were missing kits in people's packages, and you probably think, what kind of a show are we running around here? Well, so lo and behold, Kelly found all of the classes that she had messaged me saying that she was missing. And my other gal also messaged me 3 days ago on Monday and said she found the other class that she thought she was missing. So mystery solved, nobody was missing any classes. And generally, when you guys see people posting that, hey, I don't find my class, what happens is when we mail out classes, we are conservative, not only in ribbon, in paper, but in our packaging. And we will put 2, 3, 4, 5 classes all in the same bag, not just 1 class per bag, because that's just plastic. It's thrown away, right? So I'm just going to put a SOS out there to absolutely everybody that gets classes with me, because you will do me a favor if you find your class before you tell me you're missing it, because I feel really horrible and bad for a long time after you message me saying that you can't find your class, and then you find it 3 days later. And I went through that, and this is just me. I know how I feel because I feel like I don't like to make mistakes, and nobody's perfect. We always say we're going to make it right. So if there really is something wrong, we make it right. But 95% of the time that when somebody messages me and says that they're looking for a class, they find it. Okay. And I just want everybody to know that before you reach out to me asking for a class that you think you're missing, it would be great for you to look through. Like, so when you have your class cards, like here, you'll have a class here, and then you'll have another class, and then you'll have another class, and you'll have another class, and each one is separated by a golden ticket. And so That's all I want is for you guys to like just double check in all your packages and all your boxes and all that stuff, because you find it. Generally, you guys do find it. I think it's very rare that somebody was really truly missing it, and it happens. It really does happen. And we did have a little hiccup with January and monthly cards, January and February monthly cards. We did have a hiccup with that, but generally that's all. So, but Kelly, I do have to get back to you about your requests. But first of all, I'm just so excited that you found your 3 classes and that they were right in the box where we had put them. So that's awesome. I'm just going to put this piece in with one of these cards too. And then the last one that we're going to work on is this guy right here. And this one is a little special. So you guys are going to you have to figure out what you want to do. The question that you have to ask yourself is, do you want an envelope flap or not? Because you can't have both. Ooh, and I figured out what happened here. You also cannot have an envelope flap, you guys. You can't have an envelope flap. For this one, you're going to need a piece here, right? And then that means that you're going to get to have an inside for this card right here, right? So you need to do 2 things with this. One is this side action over here, and one is an envelope strip. Oh, the bottom strip. So this is just 1 inch, okay? So 1 inch by 5 1/4. So what we're gonna do is cut this at 5 1/4, and we need a 1 inch piece, which is gonna go for this card right here. And if you divide this in 2, you can put one on the inside of each of those cards if you want. So this little strip is going to be for the inside of that one, and then we'll figure out something else for this one. Okay, so that would go with that. So back on track then. This is here. And we were talking about, what do you need for the rest of this? Do you want paper left over or not? And we piecemealed this together. We took a piece that was, let's say, 3 1/4, and then we glued this to it. But that's not the easy button. The easy button would be to cut this at 4 inches wide by 5 1/4, and then this would just get glued right onto it. And I think if we do that, we'd still have enough left over to do our envelope flap, and we didn't really use the back of this for anything else. So I think that's the route we'll go. So it's going to be at 3 13/16, and then it's going to be by 5 1/4. I just cut it wrong. You guys, you should cut it at 4 by 5 1/4. Okay, that is the magic number. It's 4 by 5 1/4. Pretend that I cut mine by 4. So what's going to happen is this is going to be 4. I cut it a little bit short, but that's okay. I'm going to glue this together, and no one will ever know that it's not 4. And then you can save this for your envelope flap. So that needs to get cut at 4 by 5 1/4, and it leaves an envelope flap. All right. And that will go with this one right here. So now that we have the paper cut, we can go ahead and start putting our cards together. And we're going to start with, we'll save the easiest one for last, and we'll start with this one first. And it's this guy right here. Okay, the cats were scratching at the door. Hang on. Ooh, I just got the evil eye from Hunky Noodle. He's like, Mom, you're not giving us any attention. What's up with that, Mom? Okay, so we're going to go back to there, and we'll start with this one first. Now, for the insides, this one we stamped a tree, and the other ones, that DSP that we were cutting, it could be a 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch. It's whatever size you want it to work with. So let's get this guy out of the plastic so you can see it a little bit better. And one of your card kits has all of the gems in it. And I don't know which one. Oh, actually, it's this one. The card kit that has this card. That is the one where we put a strip of gems in. And it's going to be right on the top. Maybe not. We'll come back to it. I don't remember which one we put the gems. You guys, that was last week, Tuesday. All right, back on this one. So you're going to have in your kit your vanilla, and espresso. And always do that dry fitting, you guys, in case you want to see more of a margin, like in this one. I would be happier seeing a little bit more of a border. All you got to do is grab a trimmer and give that haircut on the side of 2 of them, and then you'll see a little bit more of the margin. Right, so you've got those 2 for your insides. Little schnibbles here. So there are a bunch of tree pieces, and you can choose to poke out, hokey pokey the middle out, or you can leave them. And you have your detailed die from the tree. These are cut out of mossy meadow. So the dies have a kind of a round circly one, a long skinny one, and then a short little guy, like a little one. It's got a tree that is more detailed, and it has a crumb cake tree. Someone mentioned snow, 3 days dropping down to the 60s here in Raleigh. Wednesday, it will drop overnight. Crazy weather. It sure is. This is from that new Textured Botanicals dies. These are from the Countryside Corners dies. And so that'll go on the front. And then you've got, this is that twine that is from that Winterly Treetops. It carried over into the online world. And I'm pretty sure it's this guy right here. It's called Neutral Tones Linen Thread, item 164071. We used the curry on here. I think, or it's a Cajun Craze probably. So that's what this is, Cajun Craze. This, you guys, is a retired ribbon that we had just 1 roll left. And we needed a little bit more on here. So we gave everybody about a 1-inch section. And what you're going to do is take your scissors and cut it in half. And somebody might remember more than me, but I remember from this roll is it had a metally copper ribbon that was thin, and it was in one of the autumn suites from either last year or the year before. So it was a combo pack duo, and this was, we had just a little roll of it left. And even when you cut it in half, I think it's too much. It's a little bit thick, so I'm going to cut out this middle section yet. And we ended up with 2 1-inch pieces, and we're going to make them overlap and just have them hanging out the bottom there. Again, it's retired ribbon. I have no idea which autumn. It was from one of the holiday minis from either 2 or 3 years ago. And we were just going through a box of ribbon, and we thought, ooh, this will be perfect. So burnish that, and can poke any of these little things out that you want. We're going to do the Rose Coleman thing. We're going to prep the back of this espresso die cut piece with a little bit of glue and give it a moment to sit and marinate. I think it was a shiny copper. Yes, you're right. It was a shiny copper, and it, I don't remember what the name of the pack, but in the PDF when you guys get it. So Jolene's in the process of writing this PDF. She's got it almost done, and she had some questions, and we couldn't connect today because of me being out here kidding all day with my mom and Diane. And so she's got it written. She's going to watch the video, and then she's going to be able to finish off writing the tutorial after we're done with the video. All right, so that I'm just going to let that sit for a moment. And what I'm going to do is grab the early espresso. Hi, Sherry Ott. This one we have on here, it says, a sweet friendship is good for the soul. Now, if you send cards that say that, this is perfect for you. But if not, this would be a perfect thinking of you. It would be a perfect birthday, a get well card. It could be anything else. And all you need to do is find a sentiment that fits in the middle of this little rectangle that we have die cut for you. And anything, right? I'm going to use this because it's from the stamp set. All right. So you guys, the salt room did me good. And I had a couple people that reached out to me after they also went to the salt room, which was pretty awesome, in their local towns. And they said that it also helped them, which was pretty awesome. So our tree on the inside is in, well, we'll just use Old Olive. You could use Mossy Meadow or Old Olive. We said that we pulled in Loveliest Tree. Oh, you guys want to see something cute? So we had the youth stamp sale this past weekend, and Tyler was helping me set up, and he well, I actually found the stamp set and he bought it. It was on the stamp sale. And so Lovely as a Tree, if you guys remember Lovely as a Tree, Tyler loves everything trees. And so for $2.50, he bought a wood stamp set that he was proud. Look how happy he is, you guys. He was so happy. So I love it. And what we're going to do is only take half of this tree and ink it up. And that's going to go in this bottom left corner, bottom right corner. Very good. So we've got a tree stamped in the bottom. Any tree or leaf, anything can go in the bottom, inside, or focal image. No problem whatsoever, you guys. Whatever you have, that works. Now, it's very hard to see, but right here, there's background that is stamped on there. So this is that vanilla piece from the Countryside Corners dies. And does anybody want to guess what we used to stamp it? Oh, and Connie Moore says she still has the stamp set. Very good. The stamp for that background is actually from the set itself. We used this stamp, which is the filler in of the greenery of the tree. And what we did is we stamped it in crumb cake. Now, you might think your crumb cake's a little dark, so you would probably want to stamp off first and get it so it's not quite so dark. And you only need to do 2 rounds with it. And what it does is gives it a little bit of a grungy look back there. So it's not so vanilla. If you don't want to do that, you could also get by without doing it, and it would be just fine. All right, my tree here marinated for long enough. I actually forgot about it, you guys. So hopefully it sticks. It should though. So let's get that right where it needs to go. Actually, that was perfect. It stuck like a sticker right to the crumb cake. All right, yeah, so if you guys have Lovely as a Tree, definitely pull that out and use that for this one too. So we could get a little glue happy. We'll glue these 2 things down, and this one fits right nicely in here. Because the other thing that happened recently is they updated, Stampin' Up! Updated their last chance list, and I did populate the file and uploaded it to my website in case anybody wants to take a gander at it. You would just go to I don't know my little slip here, I left it upstairs. If you go to cardsbycrispy.com and you go to resources, I added it right here, last chance list revised 4/1/25. And when you open it up, I've got a document, and I tried to make it not too small for the eyes, but you can see that there's 11 pages of stuff that got moved to the last chance list. Some things are on sale, so there's a discount, and then they have the discounted price, and they had some things referenced as low inventory. And the other thing too, in case you guys aren't on the email list for stuff from me, if you want to, like I just sent out an email on today is the 3rd, so it must have been the 2nd. And last chance here, I sent an email like this. Kelly kind of took free reign of my emails, you guys. I don't know if you noticed, but she started to put pretty yellow bee graphics on, and she put a nice little header. She changed my bottom thing a little bit. And so, you guys, I did send an email about the last chance products have been updated, and I included links for it. So if you're not getting emails from me and you'd like to, you just have to sign up for my emails on my website right there. So, little side story there. All right, so let's glue this guy in as well. But yeah, the last chance, I think what they're planning, if I'm not mistaken, they're updating it every other month, I think. Right, so there's our inside. We did double mat. All 4 of these cards, you guys, are double matted, so they have that nice matching inside. Let's go to this piece here now. So if you guys remember from 5 minutes ago, I cut my paper too short. Okay, I should have cut it at 4 inches, and I wasn't thinking that. At least I cut the height right. But because I cut this too short, what's happening is I'm missing a section here. And that's okay. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a little bit of liquid glue here, like that. And I'm going to hold this exactly where it needs to be. And that move down a little bit. So this is going to come right here. And now what I'm going to do is take this piece and I'm going to connect the two, and nobody's going to ever be, except for all of you that are watching me. Otherwise, nobody's really going to know that that piece is not 4 inches. We actually, on this card, we cut it like at maybe 3 1/4 inches. So you really had a little bit more that you're missing, but you guys can't really see that. And I'm going to just take this, cut that off. So now we've got a mat here that's 5 1/4 by 4. And then what you can do is grab some tear-in tape. You love the new headers. Yay! Yeah, you guys, Kelly is so amazing. I'm so blessed and lucky to have Kelly helping me more. And she loves the graphics and the marketing side of things. I mean, she's the one that created all of this bee stuff, and she designed this. Like she grabbed things and she manipulated the honeycombs and shaded them and put the flowers on and put the bees on. So it was pretty cool that when she was starting to help me work on my emails more, she was like, here, let's put these pretty headers on. And so I send out now my team email. You guys, I had never been really religious about sending out a team email. So all I did was weave that back and forth. I've never been really religious about sending out a team email, but you guys, she's been helping me, and it's been pretty amazing. I have here, Be Happy Stampers. Nothing. Let's load some messages so you guys can see. Oh, see, that might take a moment. So let's put these guys on here. So every time now Stampin' Up! Has their weekly updates or announcements on a weekly basis, I've been sending out team emails, which is pretty cool. And it looks like, we call it the latest buzz for the Be Happy Stampers. And it's super cool, like news from Stampin' Up! And then all the different topics that they just talked about. And then the paper pumpkins, just lots of words, you guys. There's a lot of updates, but then I've got my Be Happy Stamper. And so she added all these headers in between each section, the Inspiration Hive and the Beekeeper's Guide and pictures and all that good stuff. So we're really stepping up the game. And Kelly is the one that's helping me make it happen, you guys. All right, this is going to go right onto the card front. You guys, we're getting a lot of diversions here. All right, and then this is going to get popped up with dimensionals. You could use the black ones or the white ones, whichever you want. So Nancy said the prices keep changing. You're having an issue checking out. So that's interesting that the prices. So I have this centered in this DSP on the right, like that, and honey. All right, you guys. My kittens are gonna give me a little bit of a hiccup here. They're gonna make me take them in. You know you have weather stripping on a door, and Honey is the one who is vicious with it. And she eats and claws at it. So we're gonna pop up our tree, and then that's gonna go right. So you don't want it down too low, right? So we've got it. So, oh, hello. Now you came over here to eat something, didn't you? Yeah, Mom, let's see what I can get into. Yep. I don't think so, baby cakes. You're right there. All right. And then we're going to do... You think you're so funny, don't you? Yeah, Mom, I'm the funniest. Don't you steal any of my greenery from my tree, girl. All right, so what I did is, so there's prettinesses on the side here that's more satiny, and you could either have them going to the outside or the inside. What I'm going to do is have them go to the outside, and underneath the is good is going to go that way. And then this one is going to come this way, right? And then if you grab your ribbon scissors, you can make sure there's no little stragglers here, and you can cut them. You better watch out. I'm going to cut your little whisker, girlfriend. Give you a little haircut like you wouldn't even imagine. Okay. All right, then what we're gonna do is grab some more tear and tape and put that on the back to really sandwich it good. And this will have some dimensionals. We'll put one there, and then I've actually got two on this side. So it's a double stuffed Oreo there. All right, so then that will go here. And for those that don't like to pop so much, definitely choose more flatness. That's okay. And this is going to go right about there. Now there is a trick for putting the greenery on. All right, so we gave everybody 2 of each size, right? And it's because a bundle on the clearance, the last chance is 53, but the dies alone are 10, 20, and the stamp set is 12. So I think it's where, no, so Nancy, you need to buy the dies alone and the stamps alone. Stop trying to buy a bundle at full price, okay? Stampin' Up, it doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand why they don't reduce the price of the bundle. It doesn't make sense to me. So just don't put the bundle in your cart, put the dies in your cart, and put the stamp set in your cart and save some money, right? People have asked me that. There was somebody else that recently bought the bundle at full price and then found that the dies and the stamp set were like a lower amount. And it's because they have the bundle. The bundle is a different item number than the stamps and the dies, right? And they have inventory of the bundle, but don't ask me why they won't reduce the bundle price. I have no idea. So how these work, there's going to be the long skinny one there, a long skinny one there, and then what we have is the more round ones are going to go like that, and I'm starting to regret having the kittens out here, you guys. And then this one goes here, and that's gonna go there, right? That's how we're gonna put the tree together. They are like 2-year-olds right now that need their attention, which I was taking a gamble, you guys. I thought that we'd come in here and they'd go to sleep and occupy a chair. And then you guys would get some kitten, because you guys always ask, where are the kittens? I want to see a kitten sighting. So I thought, well, I'm going to bring the kittens in. You guys can get some kitten excitings. And, now I'm like, yeah, maybe it wasn't such a good choice. So I'm trying to buy them alone. Okay, so it's not letting you add them to the cart. Can you guys hear that scratching? That is Honey scratching at the wall. I think I'm going to finish this card, and I'm going to take the little she, we call her a she shit sometimes, sorry, swearing, but this is what she's being like right now. All right, so we're going to put this guy like that, right? All you guys are doing is just gluing them together. You have the 6 pieces in your kit, and the tree's all die cut for you. So we're on this card, really what you guys need. Does it sound like there's a bird that's caught in the walls, right? Honey, oh my goodness, girlfriend. All right, this little girl, and that one's gonna go right about there. Whoopsies. Right like that. Okay. Honey, come on, we're going to take you inside. You guys can study the card for 30 seconds. I'm going to run her to the house so that we can move on with the rest of our card class. Okay, come on, honey. Your brother's sleeping. Okay, so we got both of them to the house, which is good. Thank you for that. I appreciate you guys being patient. Uh, and sorry, apologizing in advance. So normally we wouldn't have any issues with the kittens because they could just roam freely from here to the house. Well, the garage is still on lockdown because it's not completely cleaned and it stinks like plastic smoke yet. And Tyler's been wiping down all the walls and it's supposed to get repainted in the next 5 days. And so the cats still cannot like go freely back and forth. Normally I would have just left the doors cracked to here, to the garage, to the house, and they could have done their thing. But we're carrying them back and forth from the outside. And so I thought, well, I'm going to give you guys a sneak peek and let them do their thing. Tigger is the best boy right now. He is snoozing away on one of the chairs. So sorry about that, you guys. I don't mean to take away from class for the kittens. So, all right. Oh, you guys are all saying goodbye to her. Thanks. Bye, honey. Oh, man. She was being a little she-girl. She-devil is what Diane will call her. Oh, man. Okay. So let's go back to here. And for this one, we did have this piece left. And what we're going to do is we're going to put it on the envelope flap because then it will match the card. I don't know what else I'll do with the piece of paper. And this way it is used up, which is really good. Oh, yeah. So, okay. So, you guys, one of the perks about doing class up in the mini hive, which is my craft room, is I don't have to worry about the cats. They can do whatever they want. They'll make their appearance if they want to, and they'll stay away if they don't want to be around me. So, for quite a bit. Did you have yeah, we had a smoldering, not a fire. We had a smolder, is what happened. It happened about a month and a half ago now. And you're gonna have to cut a little bit off of here too. And so the garage is on lockdown. I don't even like going in and out of it because to me it stinks. Even though they did the bio-sweep thing, as soon as Tyler started to wash the walls and clean on the inside, it made the smell come back. So to me it smells. And so I don't even go in there. So we got one done, you guys. The gems are not done because the gems are sitting in one of the other envelope packets, and we'll get to the gems as soon as we see them. So, but for now, there is a big and a small. And so, and I'll be honest with you, I normally would have had a small and a big together, and then I would have like that, the odd guy on the other side. All right, so we got one done. Woo-hoo. Good deal. We got one and we have 3 more to go. All right, so the next one is going to be this guy. Oh man, this is the one you guys are gonna hate me for, I think. This one is going to take a little bit of thought to make this one happen and strategy, let's say. It's not hard, it's just a lot of steps with this one. So this card looks like this. What we tried to do was make this look like a picture frame. And there, in the die set, there is this frame thing. And it's only, you get one die. And so luckily Diane and I both have the dies. Just kittens having fun, yep. Just stressing mom out a little bit. So what you need is, we have 2, right? One here, and then there's one here. And we put 2 together. And then we have blending, and then we have this tree getting stamped and die cut. And so there's a lot going on. And we got it all kitted and off to the side, and Diane's doing class last night, and we're like, ooh, Chris, we forgot to emboss, have Rhonda help us emboss the frame. And from here, you guys probably can't see it very much. Oh yeah, you can. You can see that this is embossed with the wood grain, like I think it's called timber embossing folder. Everything was put in the envelopes, because we had class last night. And we made the executive decision that we weren't going to pull apart every single kit and pull out those pieces and emboss them. That we thought that if you guys wanted it embossed, if you had some sort of an embossing folder, you could run them through your own embossing folder. And if you don't want to, that's okay too. And I'm going to make the card tonight without embossing it so you can see what it looks like. And we'll email them. Perfect. Nancy, that is a great idea. So on this one, you have your same kind of setup with the mats. You have a vanilla and an espresso, and if you need to trim the edge, you definitely can. And then you have 2 more pieces of vanilla. And you're probably wondering, well, what are these all about? One of them is for the tree top, or it's the whole tree, right? So probably like that. And then one is for the background that you need to blend and put your frame around. So this one that's smaller is going to be for the tree, and the one that's bigger is for the frame. And so there is this little strip that goes back here behind your label, right? Just a little accent piece. You already cut your designer paper. You have 8 inches of linen thread, which what you do with this, you're just gonna cut it in half and make an overhand knot like this. And then you're just gonna use a glue dot to put that onto your card when the time comes. You probably could have gotten by with a little bit less, but it's linen thread, so we wanted to make it easy on you guys. So here's the frame that we're gonna be using. We have to piecemeal it together, right? So like this and like that. We'll be cutting out some of the vanilla. On this one, Rhonda embossed the top of your card base with the Distress Tile embossing folder. And all you gotta do here is burnish it, okay? So there's that. What to do first? Let's do our blending first, because that seems easy enough to get done. So we're gonna just grab a scrap piece of paper and some balmy blue ink and a blending brush, which I have here in front of me, probably somewhere in the box maybe that I brought down. Yeah, okay, I know I have one. I keep one blending brush, balmy blue, and I never clean it because we use balmy blue for blending skies a lot. And what you're gonna wanna do with this vanilla is convert it to looking like a sky. And when you go to ink, I always start off the edge just in case, because you don't wanna get any sharp ink spots. And don't worry if you get it thicker around the edges, because that's gonna get covered up. And the great thing about the blue is, or any ink that when you're blending, you can keep adding color and adding until you have it the color you want it to be. But just remember, if you get it too dark, that you can't take ink away. And so now I'm gonna turn it this way and maybe come at it from this angle as well. And if you do get some splotchies, it kind of looks like the clouds, right? So it's okay if you get some unevenness. And you're probably wondering, like, how far do you need to go down? You don't need to go down to the very, very bottom, because the designer paper is going to cover that up. So get it as dark as you want it. And just know that the tree is going to cover up part of this middle area. I think something like that looks good. And that's it for the balmy blue ink. Okay, let's get this out of here. All right, so ultimately what's going to happen is this is gonna go down here. And now if you want these embossed, now's your time to emboss them before you start putting your adhesive on. Because once you put your adhesive on, you're not gonna be able to emboss them. It does sound like you should clean the brush. It sounds crunchy. It did. I don't know. It's probably a dried out brush. I don't know. So I'm good. It worked for me. Like, Nancy, I would clean it out or do something, but it gave me the exact look that I like. This to me is a perfect blending. So I don't know. I don't worry about it, because I feel like if it didn't give me the look I wanted, I would be worried, but I think it's okay. And so we got to get this put together. So if you're wondering, like, what's the easiest way to do this? Let's talk about that. So we did pop up the frame with black dimensionals. So this, and ultimately, these are going to overlap on the sides here slightly. So I think the easiest thing we could do is glue this designer series paper, because I honestly think that at this moment, we cut your vanilla piece here to be the exact like height it needs to be. So I think we could glue this down. So when we were designing the card, we didn't really glue the designer paper in until the end. So I think it will be easier for you guys to glue down the designer paper so that they're attracted or attached. The other thing too is if you don't like the straight edge here, I thought you could always cut a rolling hill. So your call, whatever you want. But you definitely would want to use some of the black dimensionals because you won't see them. And you want to cut off the side here, these side strips. Good, I used the right scissors. Cut some side strips here. And we're going to cut some off of this side too. Don't cut them too thick because you want them to be able to not go over the edge here. And we're going to cut. Right, so this guy will go here. Try to get them right in the center. That will be best, I think. And then, all right, with the die cuts, there's a rolled edge too. So that was definitely the rolled edge. So I'm going to flip this over and make sure I put that on the back side there. And I did that way. You can feel the edges sharper, not like hurting you sharp, but there's just a rough edge and a rolled edge. And then what we're going to do is grab this guy and put that there. What we'll do is grab this one, put it here. For the middle sections there, you could also cut some smaller ones to help support the corners. Perfect. And then now, if you want the easier button, you could just glue this flat too. But we liked the idea of it being popped up, so that's why we grabbed the black dimensionals for popping it up, because you won't really see them when you're looking at the card from the side. And then here we need to cut these. Lots of demonstrators don't wash their blending brushes. The thing that there's too much good ink in them, you will use less ink if you don't clean them. Exactly. That's kind of like my rationale on that as well. You'd wash so much. I've cleaned blending brushes and I feel like the same thing. Like you're washing a lot of that ink down the drain. And then when you go to get ink the next time, you end up putting all that ink back into it and then you wash it out. So I do a lot of more blend. You guys probably, of all the blending you guys have seen me do, a Balmy Blue is by far the most that I do blending. So this is where you guys have to be very careful with laying this down. Because if you get it crooked, you're not going to be happy with yourself. So you might ask a friend to do this for you because you won't feel so bad if they if they mess it up, right? But what you're going to ultimately do, so I have this, so this is going to go here. Right? And the other one's going to go down there. And my advice would be to center this. You've got a little wiggle room because when you look at this, the vanilla is not as far out. So you could be a hair one way or the other, but when you put the other one on the bottom, you're going to want to make sure you're good to go. So I'm going to line up here and there. Right? So I'm a hair over the top. It's a hair over the edge there. And I'm not going to push down right yet, okay? I'm going to give it a chance to get my bottom one lined up. And then we'll work on the bottom one. They're going to, there was no way around it. There's going to be a seam in the middle. So then this one, I'm going to capture it over there on that side, capture it on this side, and set that down. Okay, so I probably made that look way too easy because I kind of maybe freaked you out a little bit about like lining it up, but ultimately you just want to make it look like a picture frame. And right now, if you need to pull anything up, you could still gently pull these up and maneuver them around. The one thing is you don't want your dimensionals to be overlapping there because they're not going to sit right if they are overlapping. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull that one up. And actually, they're both kind of overlapping a little bit too much. So I tried not to put the dimensional too close to the bottom. So we're going to just take that, cut that one off a little bit. And now that should work there. This one, I was okay. I didn't have any dimensional there. So from the naked eye, you don't really see that seam. And we were trying to figure out a way to put ribbon there or to do something so that you wouldn't see it, but it was really hard. We figured that by the time the card was all said and done, you really don't see that there's a seam there. And if you wanted to, you could always put your gems right there. All right, so far so good, right? We've got the start of our picture frame. And now what you're gonna do is just take your scissors and notch out the vanilla piece that's on the corner. That's really all we did. And you're gonna notch this out like that. Do that down here. Like that. And perfect. That's it, right? Don't care what the back looks like. Nobody's ever going to see the back. And now that you have this done, you've popped up the frame. Now this part is going to just get glued flat right onto the Mossy Meadow card base. Tyler's favorite color is Mossy Meadow. All right, so then this is going to go right onto here. Just center it, top to bottom, left to right. So that's flat. Now, for the other fun part is the tree. So this tree, I think it's going to fit on here like this. All right, but this piece is probably bigger than what you need it to be, but that's okay. We used Old Olive. We did not use Mossy Meadow. For some reason, the Mossy Meadow, if I remember correctly, was way too dark. And even though we have a Mossy Meadow base, this is more Old Olive-y. So what you're going to do, now this was originally stamped with crumb cake. So you guys, if you're doing this, you're going to want to clean it. Oh, man. Oh! Wow, those are really dried out. Okay, one moment, please. Oh, we're just going to take that underneath the tap and give it a little washing here. All right. So I don't try to put paper towel on photopolymer stamps because it leaves little fibers. So I didn't really dry that much. We're going to see here what that looks like. Okay. See, that's how dark the Old Olive looks. And I thought that looked dark enough. So we're going to put that on this vanilla piece like that. And then there's another stamp in this set that gives you your detail-y leafies, and that looks like that. Okay, so you're all fine and dandy so far, all right? But what happens when you go to stamp your bottom trunk and the branches is you're gonna have a little problem if you go to stamp this and you're off kilter, right? So if you put this here and your tree is one way or the other, when you go to die cut this out, you're not maybe gonna have your trunk lined up. So I guess your two options, the girls last night, I think they would have preferred, they didn't want to do it. They stamped and then they die cut and then they weren't happy with how the tree looked. So they said, well, we should have just fussy cut it. So you could stamp it in your brown and fussy cut it. But this is what I would do if this were me, and this is what I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to go take this and die cut this out just like this. I'm going to I need some washi tape. Oh, here, I got one right here. So I'm going to cut this out so that my top is right and then the bottom is lined up. And then I'm going to come back and stamp my trunk. So I'm just going to turn around. My die cutting machine's back here. All right, so all I did was die cut this before I stamped the trunk. I wouldn't do this if I didn't have photopolymer stamps, but because I have photopolymer stamps, I can manage. So now I'm going to take this off got my tree top bobble up. Perfect. All's good. And now I have this trunk where I can now center it on the vanilla exactly where I think it needs to go and then get it centered good. Where had you stamped it, you might not have lined up to the die. So I hope that makes sense and isn't too confusing. I don't know another way to do it, but that is the way that my brain, my lady brain, thinks. So let's get this inky dinky dude. Now line up my bottom, line up my top, and then when I think I got it good, set it down. All right, so while that marinades, there's a thinking of you. That thinking of you is in a set. Oh, I just saw it. Here. It's actually in Faith Collection. Thinking of You. That's where we grabbed that. And I've got it out on a block already. Right here, that's Happy Birthday. Here's Thinking of You. And look at that right in the middle there. So this die comes from a set that is called Unbounded Beauty. There's Unbounded Love, Beauty. That's from the annual catalog, in case you're wondering. In here. That's, anyways, this index is amazing. So under the dies, it's just, we're going to grab here. Unbounded Love is on page 65. Right here. Lovely dies right here. They're called Unbounded Love, and that's where a lot of these labels come from. And that one right there is what we used for this card. And we've got Thinking of You on there. Our tree trunk has marinated. All right. So even when I did all that, I still ended up not down quite far enough. But you know what? I'm okay because that gets covered up anyways. So we're good to go. Now this I like to do is pop up the top with dimensionals. Like that. And then what we're going to do is put the trunk flat because that label is actually going to have some height to it. So this is going to go up here, I guess like that. Now, we forgot to do this because we talked about it. If you have any birds, some bird stamps, you could stamp some birds flying in the back. You could also stamp some clouds in the back there. That would look nice too. And then what we've got here is a couple dimensionals on the back side of this. We'll just do 3 big ones. And then you can capture this brown piece on that side. You can see a little bit poking out. And bring it to the other side. So you've got a little bit of brown accents on each side. Hi, Deanne Dawn. Just got home from taking your granddaughter to dance class. Very cool. I love it. Then what you can do is take a little bit of liquid glue. And because this is flat now, this will pop up. We don't have it centered. We have it off to the right just a little bit. Like that. And then we did a glue dot for the overhand knot. So you can take a little dot of glue right in the nook there. Oh, you're loving the card. Yeah, this little card is a labor of love, you guys. And we have that kind of right in the nook of the label. And if you need to use another glue dot, you can, but then grab your ribbon scissors and trim the tails of the donkey here. Like pinning it. All right. Now the only thing we should have, well, we have gems, but we haven't found them yet. So we'll come back to the gems. But on this one, if you needed to trim off the sides, you could. What did we have on the inside? Ooh, we stamped, oh man, we stamped the tree. Which is cool. We'll do that. I've got all the stamps put away, but why not? Why not? So grab your stamps back. And we need this guy. We're going to start with the more solid one, and that was at first strength. You don't have to ink up the whole thing, even though I just did. And we're gonna go like this. We're gonna guess maybe like that. And then we've got the other guy right here. Go right there. And then we just have the trunk left. So grab your brown back. So this would have been smart to do this when I had everything open, but I can't think that far ahead, right? Check in the mail, but I do need to talk when you are free. Hey, Becky, I got my voice back. You guys, the last time I talked to Becky, I can't talk right now. My voice is really scrappy. Like that's, poor Becky had to hear me. And then she's like, honey, you just listen. I'll do the talking. And there we go. We got the tree off to the side. Now, I don't like, you could put your whole tree on there, but I feel like that takes up a lot of space. So I just like things coming onto the page, I guess. So we're going to glue and glue 42. So let's do both these at the same time. But thank you, Becky. I will let you know when the check arrives. I've been doing a good job on keeping up with my mail. You guys, I am current as of today. Well, not today, I shouldn't say that. As of yesterday. So I got more mail today. But I've been doing, since I got back from Raleigh, it was hard. You guys, the mail that came in, it took a week and a half to really sit down and process and log everything. And I can say every day I've been keeping up with it very nicely. So, all right. Oh, we got this beauty done. All right. So this is definitely, I don't know, a work of art. You just painted a picture. You guys could be little Bob Rosses running around painting happy little trees, okay? Except for you're stamping happy little trees. And if you don't have this stamp set, we also mentioned you could do this one, right? You could put this guy on here. Now, if this guy is a little bit more shorter or stouter and you have more space up here, you could stamp your birds and clouds, right? That would fill in more space. And the other thing you could do is if you do have something shorter, you could button up your frame. You could shorten up your frame. You could make it so that your frame is only this tall, right? What you could do is just have these pieces overlap a little bit more here, and you would just cut off your vanilla on the top, and then you would see a little bit more of the green on the background here shining through and get that embossed look. So, boom. Yay, we did it. We got our second card done. And this was probably the hardest one out of all four, right? So we got the easy peasy button left, and then we have one more in the middle that I'm not quite certain. And we haven't found our gems yet. So we're working our way to finding gems is what's happening here. All right, so that guy's done. Now, as you guys continue to watch, just remember, I do have oodles and McOodles of this card class left. We probably have like 20 spots left. And they're great guy cards. You guys have been telling me we need guy cards. And so we definitely threw in this class because the trees really lend, I think of Tyler when I think of getting tree sets and Nate tree sets. You guys, I got an email from Stampin' Up! That warned me, not warned me, just put it on my radar that I'm on their radar, that I'm closer than the average bear to hitting my million. And they said that I need to start thinking about my $1 million stamp set. And I got that email that said, hey, you're getting there. Start thinking about it. You have your inside pieces, and it's a espresso matte again and vanilla. So the last three cards have all been espresso with vanilla. This little label comes from the Delightful Wishes dies. So we'll catch that in a little bit. You have the tree is set up the exact same way as the last tree. Now, with these little pokey things, you could leave them or you can poke them out, whatever you want. You can't even see them. But I'm going to leave them in there. I'm not going to even go through the effort to poke them out. They look just fine there. So you should have 2 scoops there, 2 scoops there, and 2 wee little scoops right there. All right. So we'll come to that in a little bit. Here's your timber embossing folder. We remembered to emboss it. Yay. And that gets adhered to the Mossy Meadow piece. You guys always do your dry fitting because if you want to see more matte, you can do that. Thanks, Linda Hunt. All right, so that's coming down the road here. Here is this one. same thing. If you want to see those little pieces in there, leave them. If you don't, you can always do the hokey pokey and turn yourself around, because that's what it's all about. Left hand. Okay, we're going to do our Rose Coleman trick. You guys, Rose is a demonstrator in Canada, and if you are from Canada, you should definitely seek her out to watch her videos. You guys, I don't know how she does it. I'm a little bit like in awe of her. She does a Facebook Live video every day of the week. Of the weekday, I should say, not Saturdays or Sundays, but Monday through Friday. Whoa. She does a Facebook Live. I don't know what Facebook is making stupid changes that videos are not going to be available for after 30 days. So I'm not sure if she's going to be changing her strategy or not. But you guys, she has a fun-filled Friday. We work together. We collaborate, and we kit up classes for each other. So she kits up my sweet class in Canada, and then I kit up her technique club class here in the States. And so we work together very nicely. And she taught me that trick. So we're going to let that sit for a hot second, and we're going to work to this guy right here. And again, dry fit. Make sure you see the right kind of border that you want. My card right there has a little bit more vanilla that I'm seeing than on mine. So if that's the case, you guys could always take these two pieces and cut little hairs off of them. And what I mean is just little, like it was just a wee little bit like that, and maybe like that. And I'm going to do that on both because, thanks, Debbie Gass. Yeah. So my goal, I do have a goal. It's a good goal. My goal is to hit my million by the end of the Stampin' Up! Year, which is September 30th. So that is what's on my radar. It should be okay to do. Like that's what I'm on track to do. As long as everything keeps going the way it is, we should be okay. And if something happens in the world that it like goes south, then I just set a new goal, and I have to just be realistic with myself, right? So, all right, you guys, we let it marinate for a moment while we did that. And what we have to do is get this lined up. I started with the bottom on the other one, and I thought I'm going to try to get that one lined up. Oh, yeah, there it is. Oh, yeah. Perfect. Rose always posts her Facebook Lives to YouTube in a couple days, so I don't think it will be a big deal for her. Perfect. So, Debbie, guess I was a little bit worried for Rose, but as long as she's downloading and uploading to YouTube, then her videos will always still be housed in YouTube, and I just don't know. Yeah, she'll probably continue to go live on Facebook then. I would be my guess. So we can do some gluing. Let's glue these. And I wondered if I want to see a little more green or not. I'm good. So we're going to... Nope, we can't glue that yet. One moment, we can't glue that. We have some linen thread that goes behind there. So let's do just these two for now. Perfect. Kathleen says she can't wait to buy my stamp set. So speaking of that, like I was going down a thought process with that. The bird gems would like, oh yes, that is very true, Dan. The bird gems would look very nice on that last card. So Tyler asked me the same question too. He's like, well, what's your stamp set gonna be? I'm like, well, Renee Conkey, who lives in Oshkosh, Wisconsin, about 20 minutes from me, she hit her $1 million not too long ago, and she just came out with a stamp set. And I saw it, and I'm like, oh man, that's exactly what I would do for my stamp set. But she has here, Choose Happy. Wait, I gotta go to stamps. Hang on, you guys. Stamps. Choose Happy. Choose Happy 49. And it's small, but you're going to be able to see here. Choose Happy. That would have been my stamp set, more or less, except for it's missing a tree and a beer. But it's so random, you guys. I always thought I would have a hodgepodge stamp set. I absolutely love penguins. I love suns, right? Because if you guys see my stuff, I always have the little sun on it. Right? So I always do a heart and a sun, right? When I sign things. And there's a bee in here and happy, right? And everything else is like, whatever. I don't care about the apples and stuff so much. But it was the heart, the star, the heart, the sun, the penguin, the bee, and the flower. Absolutely like right down my path. Now, can't copy that now because, I mean, I would have done things maybe a little bit different, but definitely loving like the outdoors and crafting. And so at this point, I have no idea what I would even choose. So they want me to start working with a concept artist. Actually, now they put me on, they put the concept artist on copy so that I can start working with them to get a plan. And I'm like, oh my gosh, sooner or later we'll start thinking about this, right? But I need to get through, I need to get through this week and probably the MS benefit before I can even start to think about it. But yes, that is on the radar. Very cool. I didn't do a dry fit of these panels to the green, but I definitely should have done that first, but I didn't. I took a chance, and this is a good chance here that we got that right. Okay, let's go back over to here. So if you guys remember from the previous card, we have 2 that go near the bottom, and then the other 2 more round ones, and the 2 little babies at the top. So we'll wait on this until we have this same concept. I'm going to do dimensionals at the top and not at the bottom. So we need the little guys here. I think I had a little guy right there and maybe right there. And this will go on to this piece like that. All right. Thanks, Julie Black. Love the Choose Happy. Yeah, the Choose Happy. It was a really cool set. So we're going to grab, so we have to do the linen thread behind the brown layer. And we're going to grab 2 pieces waiting in the wings and 2 pieces for behind here. And it's near the bottom here. And so we'll pick these off. And the one thing I forgot to do is put some liquid glue behind the trunk here. It was a little flippy floppy, but it's super cool. The people who do earn the $1 million or have $1 million in sales, they get to invite it out to the home office. And it's called the $1 Million Achievers trip. So that's kind of on the radar. So that's pretty cool. You did a class with the stamp set. We sure did. We sure did. It was Let's Just Stamp. And as soon as, and if you guys look in the annual catalog, it's one of the first stamp sets that's out there in the catalog. Like there's a lot of fluff for the first 20 pages, but then after the fluff ends, then there's her stamp set after the ephemera stuff or the memory keeping stuff that's in the beginning. So you guys see, I didn't run, you cannot, if you go wrap it around, you're not going to have enough for the overhand knot that's over here. So once I did what I needed back here, I'm going to cut this off. And now this is going to get cut in half, what's left. So hopefully you have a lot left. And we're going to save that to tie onto there. All right, now that this is adhered with the tear-in tape, we can grab some liquid glue and go like this. So I caught myself. I almost glued this brown piece on, but I happened to look at the card and I saw that the ribbon was behind there. You have to be very careful if you want to use ribbon on cards and the tails need to go behind the layer. Otherwise, you're going to be pulling it up or sneaking it in there. That's good. Then what you can also do on this side is grab dimensionals. And I like to put them as close to the edge here. And then what we're going to do is put them as close to the edge on the left side here. And then we don't risk them going over the edge on either side. And this just gets centered on the front. Now I think if I had to pick a favorite, you guys, I honestly think this would be my favorite. I love this tree with this layout, with this designer paper. All right, so now that that's going on, we can go back to these guys. And again, I'm not gonna worry about that, poking that out. I'm just gonna let it be. It allows me to get a little bit more glue on the back here. And there's one side that's a little thicker. This side goes wider and then that guy merges together. So I'm gonna put that little bit thicker on the left. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this one. I'm going to put but the opposite, right? I'm going to put the thicker on the right so that that middle part overlaps. And this, we'll get a little bit of glue here. Oh, I got to show you guys. So Rose got her class designed for the Technique Club class. I didn't have it last week when I showed you guys the showcase video, when I did the showcase video last week, I don't remember if it was that 2 weeks ago already, you know? It might have been 2 weeks ago. So we're going to flip this guy that way and fill that in. And now there's a hole in the middle, right? You can see that there's a little bit of a gap. That's where these two wee little ones come in. Hi, Rosemary Schmidt. You are an amazing crafter. Thank you. Who offers a plethora of tips and tricks and lots of creative. Thank you. Aw. Thanks, Rosemary. Yes, you guys, we needed some tree cards. And when we saw that this Twisted in Time became available as an online exclusive, we had to figure out a way to build it into our class lineup for you guys. And it became the order-based class. So there is a PDF tutorial for this in case anybody wants to purchase the tutorial. Just know it has not been published yet. It is, so Jolene is going to be working on it tonight. She had it almost all done, but she had some questions and we couldn't connect today. So what she figured is she's just gonna watch the video and then that will answer all of her questions and then she'll have the tutorial ready. And you guys, for those that like to buy tutorials from me, there's a new spot and it's actually in my events calendar. And I'm gonna always have it be on the first day of the month. So just remember that. The first day of the current month is where it's gonna be. And I'm gonna move it from 1 month to the next to the month and it's gonna start to grow and grow and grow until I can figure out what I'm gonna do with my online PDF store, which I maxed out. So right here, you can see that you can shop previous to February 27th here. And you could also join my Inspiration Hive for $20 a month and you get all my access to all of them. But this is where it starts. And I'm going to start this is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So since February 28th, this is how many classes by the end of April we'll have. And what you do is you can look at them to see which ones. I should hyperlink them to the class act. Oh, I don't know if I can. I can't hyperlink them. Oh, I can figure out a way to do that. That's probably would be helpful for you guys. Right now these are not a hyperlink, but I'll make it so it's a hyperlink. But then you got to come down to the drop down and you can add them all to your cart, right? If you want to buy them onesie twosies. And then what happens though is in my online store, it would automatically email it to you. Well, that's not going to work. I have to manually email it to you. So what's going to happen is after you make your purchase, then I will see it come into my emails and that's the same happy birthday. Once I see it come into my emails, then I will email it to you. And if you're hot to trot, like let's say you buy the PDF and you're like, oh man, I want this to make cards tonight. Well, rest assured, I'm probably not going to see, no, don't rest assured. I say it with a little laugh. I don't see my emails all the time, every minute of every day. So and Tyler says there's no emergencies with stamping, right? So just know if you want to have something to work on, it would be best to pay for it if you want that way. You could also send me money electronically and I'll email it to you as soon as I know that you need it or as soon as I can get my hands on my email. Guys, I don't live in my emails. I promise I don't. You know that. I got my ink. I had ink on my finger and it got to right there. So it's a perfect use of the ink eraser. But I try my best to get you guys stuff as soon as possible. We have patience with each other and that's all that matters. Okay. So, especially, I gotta tease Kelly Gibson, especially because it's the second time she did that to me, that she thought that something got lost. And I'm like, no, I promise you, I put it in the package. You guys, you don't even know. I see everything before it goes in a package. I don't have anybody else. I mean, people help me, but I visually see everything and I manually check off on a spreadsheet when the class, so this is just barely covering this up. I see everything before we put it in there. And then though, like after I hand it off to my mom or Diane, then there's very chance that something gets messed up. But my mom and Diane are pretty spot on with packaging up stuff too. So I should have done this beforehand, but this is gonna get twisted. Okay, right underneath there. Now what we're gonna do is pop this on like here. So Kelly, I say with a little joke, right? It's all good. You guys, there's been at least 30 people over the course of the last 3 years that have told me that I missed putting something in their kits and then they found it. And don't ever feel bad asking for something. It's worse to not ask for something and then you need it and then get mad at me for not asking me, right? Because maybe that's how that would work. But you have no idea how delighted I am when you find what it is you're looking for, right? Because that makes it feel even better that, you know what, we do things correct, right? So that goes like that. And I will tell you guys, I thought that I would get to this card and I would find the gems, but I did not find the gems. And on the inside of this card, so this opens like this, and our inside, ooh, just a note to let you know you're on my mind. Okay, so that's perfect for a birthday, or if you have something else, do whatever you want. I really don't like this set until I saw your card. Oh man, you guys, I have the screen out. There you go. There, that's better. You can't even see how this pretty card looks. All right, so we're going to stamp that on here, and the only sad thing is that it is red rubber. So we're going to practice on this one side, and if we don't like it, we'll flip it over and see if we, oh, I'll take it any day of the week that, oh, it's going uphill though, now that I looked at it. So hang on, let's see if we bring it downhill just a little bit. It was really close though. Okay. I'm good with that. All right, good. Barbara Gubby says, that happens to me all the time. It's so true. So what we say then is our work here is done, right? Everybody has that happen to them where they look at something and they see the stamp set, or there's, it can also happen where you see one stamp in a stamp set and you think, oh man, I don't like that stamp. And then it never allows you to look at anything else in the stamp set, and you never buy the stamp set until somebody makes a card with other stamps from that stamp set. And then you're like, oh man, I really do like that. And it's like, oh no, now what am I gonna do? You get over the fact that there was one stamp in there that you don't like, and you work with it. Okay, my little guy needs to go that way. I should have glued on the vanilla to the brown first, but that's okay. All right, so then this, whoa, can get glued right on there. Let's see. You know what I did? I know I should have done this. Let's see if this is going to come off. It's okay. It's just the sound of paper ripping. We're going to get this guy on here. Now it's not going to go where I want it. All right, let's try this again. We're going to get the vanilla onto the brown as best you can. And you're going to put a little bit more glue back on here. And what I really wanted was this green to go all the way to the bottom of the brown and left to right of the brown. So that vanilla is kind of nestled inside of it, like it looks like it's a pocket in there. All right, now if anything is too long, now's your time to trim it off. And then this can get glued on the inside. Now, you have this little piece that's left over. Figure out what you can do with stuff. Make something pretty with it, right? And now this will go onto the inside. If you have those amazing little Velcro dots that are perfect for card making, you could grab one from your stash if you have it, because I think this would make a great use if you put a little Velcro dot like right here. It will help the card stay a little bit shut. And you could put it right there, and then it would stick. So they make those little Velcro dots. And we used them on the Happy Hibiscus class for game night. That was back in December. So when we used them. So there it is. We got our third one done. Yay! All right. I have to say that this one is my favorite. I thought, well, is it a little too dark? Maybe we could have used a different color for this background, but we tried to make it look like a log, right? That it was brown and espresso and timber, right? So that's why we ended up with an espresso, but that could have easily been crumb cake too, and it would have maybe made it look a little bit brighter, but you guys, it's the general idea of the thought with the layout, but I still think it all goes together very nicely with the brown, the espresso, a little mossy, a little old olive, and so this and this and this will go over here. And then we had one left. The last card, we saved the easiest one for last. No, there wasn't a lot of designer paper left over, but this was left over. And if you decided to, you could always use this designer paper on the inside of this one, If you want, you could put it right there. I don't know if you like the way that looks, but that was always a thought. Or you don't have to put the tree in. You could put that here, or you could put it over here too. So you could have used that strip on the inside of this card if you wanted. And it would have matched, right? Because the designer paper would have matched. Please, where does the sentiment come from? The sentiment for... oh, I didn't tell you guys. Does anybody want to guess? Ooh, man, I think it would be really hard to guess where the happy birthday comes from. So, I will tell you that it comes from... I'm grabbing it. The Darling Dinos. Oh, man. Happy birthday. And then the inside came from just a note to let you know you're on my mind. Is from Mixed Labels. So, that is what we're featuring for the month of April with our ink, paper, scissors. So there you go. That's where they come from, Joy. Good question. I'm so sorry I forgot to tell you guys that. And we had one left, which is the brown. And I don't know why I didn't have gems. There they are. Oh my gosh, they were in here the whole time. Oh, you guys, I looked from here. I did not look from in between here. So the gems are between the petal pink and the vanilla. So Jolene said she, rawr. You guys, stamp it up. I got a French dinosaur set, the Darling Dinos. And the question was, how does a dinosaur say roar in French, right? Roar, right? It's rawr, like with a French accent, rawr. So anyways, it was really funny when somebody else said it. I was just trying to relive the joke. So, all right, guys, lots of pink and brown in here. We made a really easy peasy lemon squeezy card for you. We designed those first three, Diane and I, and we got down to it and we're like, oh man, not that we were sick of trees, but we were sick of trees, right? Like we were thinking of the die cutters, right? Because the die cutters already were cutting out all of this stuff, you guys. Like there was so we had two sets of dies. So they ran 48 passes on this one and 48 passes on this. This is a little rinky dinky stuff. And then this is a rinky dinky die, right? So we were like, okay, there's die 1, 2, 6, 7, 8, 9 things die cut on here. More on that one. And then on this one, they had to die cut the label and this. And so this one, we don't like to always use a lot of stamped focal images. So we're like, okay, well, we should probably use it for this card because then you guys get to experience the stamps and see how they stamp because it looks really cool. But then we got this last card and we're like, well, we don't really want to stamp more trees. We don't want to have the die cutters die cut more stuff. And we had this brown piece of paper, which I actually love. It's really pretty because I love petal pink with espresso. And so we're like, well, let's just layer up a whole lot of die cuts. But easy die cuts, not really little die cuts, right? So we ended up with petal pink with this. And you guys, we cut the rectangle out of here. This is from that new Botanical Notes set. And there's no reason why we can't glue some stuff together. So let's get glue. You have two rectangles here that are both from that set. There's a Spotlight in Nature die. That's the circle. And then this is, so this is from the set though, you guys. We pulled this die in. This die is part of the tree set, the Twisted in Time. So it's a nice little label and a little bannery label. But we can get a little glue happy. Let's see how glue happy we can get, all right? Without overdoing it and getting too zealous with ourselves. So let's get jiggy with it. This one, you guys like my music reference there? Let's get jiggy with it. We also are bringing it back to do an envelope flap. So let's get this guy marinating over here. And for our top of our rectangle here, we can do a little. And we can also do the edge here. All right, good. I really didn't think I needed this set. Thank you. Laughing out loud, I love it. And this guy's gonna go here. And then our petal pink goes on top of that. And you gotta be very careful. Your hole up here is just in the spot where you have to be strategic about how you put that down. Hopefully, I mean, it just barely is there, covering it up, all right? We are aware of that. This guy can go down here. And then this one can go right onto our card base. I am one for multitasking with the glue. And then this can get glued down. Oh, the cover's not even on. Psych. And then, by the way, you can sell me for that memory more. Okay, perfect. That sounds good. And that went there. If you wanted to dry fit that first, that would have been ideal. And then what we can do is this gets popped up, pop it up with the big ends here. You guys can see we cut that brown circle out of this mat. And then we cut the pink circle, so we were definitely doing our paper conservation at its finest. This just gets centered on here. Now, it's going to throw you off. I'll be honest with you. These lines are not straight. They go like that. And so you think, oh man, it's not straight. The paper, it was cut 5 1/16 by 3 13/16, and you're going to have some going up and some going down, and they're not really straight. A little wonky. All right, then our circle can get glued. And before I go with this, we're going to just trim off that little bit like that, and we'll put a little glue 42 on there. So this circle is flat. And sometimes when we die cut, we get some crunchies on the side. We can just flake them off if you get that. So that's going to go right there. And then this one can go right on here. Do you guys like it? We saved the easiest for last. Now, and it's such a cool layout. So I know you guys probably have stylish shapes or stitched rectangles or the other ones from Radiating Stitches dies with rectangles. You can definitely do this card with any die cuts that you have that are circles and rectangles. It really shows off designer paper. All right, let faith be bigger than your fear. It was, when we are designing, we look for stamps that fit the labels that we're using. So hopefully you guys can find a sentiment that you want to use for this, because you have a beautiful banner here, and this stamp did fit perfectly in here. And we're going to stamp that right there. See? Perfect. Fits nice. Very nice. And then on the inside, I don't think we stamped anything. So we left it blank so that you could do whatever you want. You could do Thinking of You. Again, you might not even have Faith Collection or use this stamp. And that is quite all right. Then we're back to tear and tape. Oh, as long as I got this in my hands, let's do this. Guys, whenever you get designer paper in a class from us, I really love it when you do the envelope flaps. There's just something about getting a card in the mail with a matching envelope flap. And then remember here to cut a little bit off of this. Perfect. So then that's cool. And then this, we need the tear and tape. And you're going to need one down and one waiting in the wings. So this is that petal pink ribbon. Anybody who does ink, paper, scissors with me this month in April, you're going to get a roll of this ribbon, and it's out of stock at the moment. And we used it on the mixed media floral cards. So you'll get that. And what we're going to do is slightly at an angle, leave enough here that you can trim your tail, and bring it back up after you make your little loopy, and then you're going to make another little loopy, and it should be pretty even. And then tear and tape across the back and grab a couple dimensionals. Actually, we'll do that, and how about 2 more for good measure, there and there. Now, while I have this like that, it's easier to cut this at an angle like that, and then this one too at an angle. And then pick these off. It goes right through the middle, and that petal pink ribbon just pops behind and top of the brown. So we're centering that, something like that. Cool beans and bagels. Now that we found our gems, these are those sparkle gems. And I don't know if they made it to the last chance list, but did you guys know that we have so many gems in this catalog? So many gems. Look at this spread of gems. Sparkle gems are right here. 161288. And they are $8.50. And there's 2 different sizes and 3 different colors. So what we did for this, we were thinking of cutting up gems that day, or when we were designing, we were thinking, how can we just strategically cut a strip of gems? And that's just always easier for kitting for us, is that everybody just gets a strip versus 3 of them loose in your envelopes. So we're going to come back to this, all of these cards, and we're going to look at how we got to do the gems, because we didn't do any of the gems. We didn't even Stella, you guys. So Julie says that she loves the cards. You make the most beautiful cards. Oh, thank you so much. So just a reminder, you guys, I have lots of this one kitted up too, in case you want the easy button. And basically what you saw, what I was opening up my kits, that's how you would get your kits from me too. All right, so this card right here, we use black. We used the big one up here, and then there are 2 smalls. And I'll be easy. Oh, here's my pokey tool. So the 2 small ones fit perfectly right here on the side. Super cool beans. Right there, right there. All right, so those 3 got used up. Then we have these. This one looked, we thought, now you guys can do them however you want. We take no offense to you guys changing anything or everything. So we thought that the clear ones looked best here. So we did a big one up here. They kind of look like maybe stars coming out, I don't know. And then small, and then the other small was over here. All right, so that's what we've got for those. Then we have this one, and we thought that the tanny coppery ones looked really nice with this. They were bright and they were cheerful on here. In this case, we used the big. The sparkle gems are not on the last chance. I love it. We have used the sparkle gems on a lot of class cards throughout the last year. They are very pretty, very versatile. And this one uses a big one. So that means on the last card, you got a hodgepodge, okay? So you've got, you see how they stand out really nicely on there? I love it. Okay, so we've got those 3 done. And then the last one is our hodgy-podgy. And we have left a big black one, which I think I'm gonna, on this card, put over here. And then I'm gonna put the clear big one over here. Oh, that doesn't really stand out as much though. But I don't like the black one on the vanilla either though. I think I'll pick it like this. And then we've got the tannish one, which is over there. And you could potentially see what the tan looks like, but I don't always like 2 big gems next to each other. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the tan one back over there and the whitey Aphrodite over here. All right, and then you guys have one huge long strip of this that won't stick to your pet's underbelly like all the other ones that we cut little small pieces for you. All right, so we can officially retire the pokey tool and our scissors, which are good. And you can tell me which your favorite one is. So you guys, I'm looking for feedback, or don't you care? Do you like it in the hive? Are you liking it that we're back in the hive? Or do you like the mini hive? Or do you not prefer? I feel really comfortable doing my classes here in the hive, but I know Kelly really likes doing the classes that she does, the kit classes and the pumpkin classes upstairs, because all my tools and reference materials are upstairs. And I like doing the Share, Create, Inspire and the monthly upstairs because I can pull more stuff to be more creative. So I'm curious if you guys ever notice any different. Probably when the camera's facing down, it looks exactly the same, I'm guessing. All right, so the only die we really had to use was this, but you could have used a different tree set, or you could have fussy cut. The stamp sets, again, that we used, we pulled out a happy birthday from the Darling Pinos, a sentiment from Mixed Labels, a sentiment or 2 from Faith Collection, bringing in the tree from Loveliest Tree, and we brought the dies in from this. We didn't use that stamp set, but And this is what they look like in case you... Anne likes the hive. Good. Okay. Green gatefold is your favorite. You don't care where the hive or mini hive. Perfect. Okay. Loving them all. Good. Okay. Cindy says whatever works best. Okay, good. So I like the backdrop here better because it looks like more cohesive with the hive. The mini hive, the craft room upstairs, is coming. It's still a work in progress. You guys, I'm waiting for shelves to go up and my door to get finished. And then I think I'll feel better about being up there. I feel like when you guys see behind me, you just see cluster of stuff behind me. And I think that I might overthink that more than you guys might overthink that. And the kitty spottings happen more in the hive. Well, today they did because the cats were running wild all over me. So Susan loves all the cards. And Debbie said, not sure it matters to you, just where you are the happiest. All are pretty good. Okay, so, and I think it depends on where it's most convenient. If you guys recall, 3 weeks ago on the 20th, when I did the wildflower suite class, my lights were flickering a lot. And what I learned is that my little charger USB box that was behind here was fried. It was flashing blue lights at me. And I immediately, when I saw that at the end of class, I unplugged everything. Because the last thing I need is a fire because of electrical stuff, right? So I unplugged that. And I think one of the things that happened is I didn't replace that immediately. And it was easy to just take all my electronics up to the mini hive. And we worked up there for the last 2 weeks. And it was perfect. And now I've got a new box that came in. And my lights weren't broken. It wasn't the lights at all. It was the charging box that was the problem. And what happened that night is all of the devices were connected in there and then they went dead. And we had a lot of hiccups that following week. So yeah, but we figured it out. Oh yeah, isn't that cool, Donna Grushi? When Honey gets to play, I can throw the mousey or the possum down to her and she loves it. She's in happy heaven when I am throwing the mousey down to her. You guys are fine with it. I guess you guys are generally saying wherever is fine. And then fire, fire, danger. Will Robinson, exactly. That's the last thing we need is any sort of problem. So it is 8:15. I am not going to forget to do a couple things here. I think we have about 10 more minutes of time at least, 10 to 15. We're going to do some prizes and show you some Happy Mail and show you some swap cards. And then we're going to rock and roll hoochie coo. So just a reminder, last week, you guys, we did the ink, paper, scissors. And if you missed it, if you missed this class, making these 4 beautiful butterfly cards, we have kits available for this class. And it's one where you get the roller ribbon and the sequins and then a quarter pack of the DSP with the butterfly cards. You guys, Julie Damaris, we saw a video that she did where she made those cards and she did a really pretty job. She switched them up a little bit and they turned out great. So I always tell my community, I don't always tell them, but I do say this, that my classes are a really good easy button, especially if you like to gather with your friends and you're not always the most creative or you don't like to always have the pressure of designing for other people. What I've told people that they should do is they should buy a class from me, and then once they get the kits and they have the PDF, they can easily reproduce or cut the materials, and they can have gatherings or in-person classes for their people in their community, and they can use the designs to redo that, right? I never have a problem with you guys sharing the love and the creativity that I start with and that you guys take and make it grow, right? Spread the love, right? So, right? It makes it go that much further that you guys love the designs and the creativity that much that you want to share it with your friends and family. So just finished her butterflies class yesterday, Debbie. Good job. All right, so let's grab the box here. I didn't do that. There it is. And I have some Happy Mail to show you first. This one is from, I don't know if I showed this or not, but it was Anna Rebedu. She has the invisible Post-it notes. Nothing fancy, just love. And it opens this way, opens that way. And she won a prize, and she didn't know she needed it, but she loves it. I love it. That's the best kind of prize, is that you don't know you need it, but you love it. And so she used some of the delightful floral designer series paper. And very cool. I love the invisible Post-it note idea. This is from Miss Carolee Crab. A little kit here. And Sherry said she loves the butterflies. Yay, thank you for all you do and all you are. You're special. Very special. I love it. Thanks, Carolee. And so I went to On Stage with Carolee in Raleigh. She was a part of our extended community. This one comes to me from Jenny Knutson. A little orange flower pretty kitty card. You make me happy. And yay, she got a couple classes with me. And she sent me a recipe card, you guys. So we're going to feature Jenny's recipe card in not May, because Anna Rebidou's card is for Share, Create, Inspire in May. We're using Jenny's for April. Very cool. That's my plan anyways. All right, I always love it when I get a class card back. So this is from Donna Grushke. And this is the Ringed in Nature class that we did back in January of 2 years ago, question mark. It was really cool. So we had fun with that one. I love getting that back. So, and then an envelope to work with too, so I can repurpose and use that one. Bling here, you guys. This is from Kathleen Ketterman. It was a nice little St. Patty's Day card, using some of the dazzling diamonds on the side here for some specialty paper, and sending luck and love. So very cool. All right, she got some classes with me. I love it, you guys, when you send me checks and then I get happy mail. Ooh, look at this. This is from the Memorable Blooms stamp set. Oh, I didn't show you Rose's cards. I got to do that. This is from Kathy Kessler, and she dropped by to pick up some card kits as well. But you guys, Rose sent me her cards so I could share them with you. And just a little sneak peek of what Rose has. You guys, you're going to want to get on the list for this one. This one's an order-based class too, but it features the Memorable Blooms, and it's a mixture of black with crumb cake, which is super cool. That's a really pretty one as well. You do need to have some sort of floral stamps. Her technique that she's going to be featuring is called whitewash. And so those are... I think I forgot to do something in this kit. I think I forgot to put the toggle in there. We kitted these up today, and I did not put the toggle to hold that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, the octagon on. So I'm glad I looked at this with you guys, because I'm gonna have to put them in the cellophane for you guys. So yeah, so that one was from Kathy Kessler. This one is from Jenna Helms, Hudson, Wisconsin. Look at that cutesy patootsy little bow. And this was that Send with Love, I think, maybe. A little love from me to you. And thank you for putting our group together and all that you coordinated for On Stage. It was a great time, you guys. It was a labor of love, you guys. I'm happy it happened, and I'm happy that we're past it. I feel like there was a lot of energy and time put into it. This one is from Miss Mary Novak. Nothing that I wouldn't do again, though. And we're already thinking about it for next year. I like this layout a lot. So I think we're going to case this layout. We've done it where it's similar, but this is different because this flaps up and this flaps down, where this piece I would have glued it in the past. What I've done is glued it, but I like it coming from behind there. So I like that. And I like that it's DSP, DSP, and DSP is a perfect layout for an ink, paper, scissors card. So, and it uses the lavender paper. So that's really cool. This one is, I love it, you guys. Vicky Rodriguez, I don't know if you're watching, girlfriend. I got your card. I cased her card. I was trying to figure out what to do for the April monthly class. And I got her card in the mail, and I looked at it, and I studied it for a moment, and I thought to myself, oh yes, queen, I am going to go this route. So this is where I looked at for inspiration, you guys, and this is the card that we ended up with. So you can see how I cased her card, but yet it's different. I definitely used the same kind of, the oval with the flowers on the side, but I added a strip here, added ribbon going up and down, added like a green base instead. So all about casing, right? Casing is copying and sharing everything, right? We're in stamping. Like we see ideas and we get inspired and we copy things, right? And what they say is you copy as much or as little as you want, right? No harm, no foul. And my mom always says, she's told me since I was a little girl, copying is the most sincere form of flattery. And you should never get jealous when somebody copies you, right? So that's why, that's why I love card making so much, because I can see cards and then I can take bits and pieces from them. And so Vicky, you were the inspiration for the monthly card for this month. And it was so awesome. And you guys can see how they look similar, but yet they're different. So thank you for the inspiration, Vicky. I I was going to call you and tell you that, and I haven't picked up the phone yet to call you. So I'm getting there. So this one comes to us from, oh, swap cards. Okay, we're not quite there, but this is a swap card. So we're going to skip this one for the one moment in time because this card is another one that I got in the mail from Doral Halfacre. And she is signed up for the MS benefit, which is really awesome. But look at this. And she used an invisible Post-it note too. So cool beans. This right here is pretty cool how she put this together. And I don't think it's that complicated. I think we could easily do this also for an ink, paper, scissors. Because what you do is you just have people go to the point here, cut and cut. And then this little flappy is on this. You know, you just use the side pieces to crisscross applesauce in the back. So super cool. Love it. So that is from Doral. And then this one comes to us from Jenny Knutson again. So she sent her SCI card in this envelope. So very cool with the rainbow paper. All right. So that was the happy mail that I wanted to get through with you guys to show you that. And then some swap cards. So I'll rock and roll through these as well. Love that they are the same but very different. Exactly. That's what casing is all about. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit. So this one comes to us from Maria Gilbertson, from Two Harbors, Minnesota, complete with a cat fur. That is my cat fur on here, not even your cat's. All right, so very cool. So if you guys are part of my Cards by Christine VIP group, or if you're part of my team, the Be Happy Stampers, Kelly photographed, watermarked these cards, and put them in the files and album section of both of those groups. So very pretty with the delightful floral. And then this one comes to us from Georgine Darbro. She had the Wildflower Birthday. And look at the inside, how pretty that is. That was Georgine's. You guys, Georgine, both Maria and Georgine have Facebook pages too. Mama G, Stamp It with Mama G is Maria, and Georgine is Two Long Dogs and a Stamper. And so you can go find both of their Facebook pages and like and subscribe to their stuff as well, which is very cool. This one is from Robin Kenton. She's a newbie. She just joined the team in January and opens like that. So one of my rules with my swaps that I host is you got to have some stuff on the inside. I do not like naked insides. So it's very cool. I like to use the Everyday Arches. She added some of those butterfly gems. This one is from Gail Barden. Gail joined us about a year ago. She came over from Close to My Heart, joined Tracy Sorge's team, and she did a little happy birthday card using the butterfly, the beautiful butterfly, or butterfly bokeh butterfly. And this one was a sale-a-bration one. I believe that was Maria, using heart-shaped bundle. And a little monochromatic going on, which is really cool with the blues and the whites. And then she added a little gray smoky slate label there with a bow. This one comes to us from Jay Shante. And she's between Minocqua and also Appleton. So if you're in the Minocqua area, she does in-person activities classes. And she's looking to start up something in Appleton, Wisconsin. And she's a phenomenal stamper as well. And this one features the sale-a-bration paper called Bloom Impressions. And she made a birthday card. A little strip of designer paper on the inside. Whoa, I just threw it on the floor. And let me pick it up and stretch my back. Okay, Tracy Sorge, Brilliant. Tracy offers stamp caps once a month or twice a month in her hometown of Brilliant. And if you're looking in the Brilliant area to do some stamping, Tracy's your girl. And she also had heart-shaped here for her card that she did for the swap. So these are my team swap. Anyways, 3 times a year I host a team swap. So the next one is going to be in July for the annual catalog. I host one in February for the spring mini, and I host one in October for the fall mini, the holiday mini. And so these are the cards that we did for that. This is Nancy Haggard. She's also from Minocqua. Nancy is on Jay's team. Look at this pretty card. Azure Afternoon, you guys, really takes the cake and steals the show with how bright and beautiful it is over the navy, and a little pop with a yellow flower. So that was heart-shaped with the Bloom Impressions and iridescent ribbon. And this one is from Lisa LaFramboise, and she is from Colorado, and she used the Bloom Impressions paper as well with some petunia pop ribbon. Detailed Occasions, maybe, was the stamp set for that one. And on the inside, she's got some pretty flowers. She colored all them. I love it. She double matted to match the inside and the outside. And she makes a lot of cards and donates them every month, which is super cool. This was mine, and I made a card on a card. I love when you have designer paper and you get to see both sides. And so when you flip this up, you get to see the designer paper, and then I made it into a happy birthday. I used that Starstruck embossing folder and then the mixed label dies. And I'm looking at this and I'm like, why is it crooked? I gotta fix that, because you can't have crooked stamps, you guys. Hang on, now I gotta fix it. I'll put 2 dimensionals back on here. Come on, little guy. Nothing like fixing my own swap card during a showcase of the swap cards. Okay, this one is also Gail Barden's, and she went for a monochromatic look with gold. Simple and elegant, and she used the heart-shaped with a little white flower with a green leaf. And it's not really monochromatic because we actually got the green going on. And she's from Manitowoc. Then this one is the Wildflower Birthday. Flips up like this. This was Gail. So I had 3 groups. We had a sale-a-bration group, we had a suite group, and then we had a bundles single stamp sets group. And so that's what this is, the combination of all of that. This was part of the sale-a-bration group, and I used the terrific toadstools. This was Tracy's again. You are magical. And a little bit of pumpkin pie with the granny apple. This one, I believe, is, oh, you guys are ready for this? Is a fun fold. So this is Georgine's card. So 2 long dogs and a stamper again, and it is a diorama card. Are you ready for it? I'm pretty sure that's what this is called. All right? It's a spinny diorama card. So what happens is you wind him up, right? You go like that, and you put it down, and then when you have it in the envelope and the person goes to open it up, super cool, right? And I love it. She's got some balloons in here from the, so this is that Darling Dino set. And very cool card. This one is from Robin Kenton. And so what she did on this one is she went on her scoreboard and she scored little diamonds in the back. Well, they're actually kind of big diamonds. But she made her own background with scoring. And she embossed a white thank you on here and a stylish circle. And then this one comes to us from, oh man. Oh, me! I made this one. Oh man, leave it to me to forget which card I made. No, this one's mine. I had to do meant to be because nobody else had picked meant to be. So I did that one, and we put some little honeycombs on the back. We die cut the big honeycomb, used some ink colored gems, some bees. Of course I made a bee card for my swap. I love it. Okay, this one I believe is Maria. Maria, with you in mind is what she picked. And she has the around it all. Here we go, round. So it's around it all dies. There's a Slim Shady song. We go round it all, round it all. I don't know the words. I'm singing them and they're not really good, but so the round it all dies. That's all I'm going to say with you in mind. Will the real Slim Shady please stand up? Please stand up. Okay. Will J. J's Little Bear Stampin' Done. She used memorable blooms with a pretty iridescent bow on here. She die cut that octagon with some of the designer series paper from Wildflower, I believe. Oh, maybe not. I don't remember where it's from. Maybe somebody will remember. The plaid embossing folder that carried over, and then she colored that really pretty flower from there. And then she stamped on the inside. Oh, in Canada, you pronounce it Dino, not Dino. Okay, Dino. I guess, yeah, because I call it a Dino. And maybe it's a Dino. I don't know. This was mine too, you guys. So this is my swap card. And we cased this card for the ink, paper, scissors that we have this month featuring mixed media florals. And we got a couple bees on there and a little greenery on the inside. Made it into a thank you card. And then we have here, this one's from Tracy Sorge. She had the Storybook Friends. 2 trailer parks, some things go round the outside, round the outside, round the outside. Yes, that exactly was what was in my head, but I did not know how to get those words out. 2 trailer parks, something go round the outside, round the outside. Somebody's going to have to look up the lyrics for us. All right, there's that petal pink ribbon. And she got the little bunny here eating his lettuce. He's so excited to go pick a head of lettuce from the garden. And then last for my swap cards for my team, this one is also from Jay Shantae, and she used mixed media. And she has the Spotlight and Nature dies And she fussy cut all of the You Are Pretty Wonderfuls with a scissors and has a little bit of the black with the white with the red. Boom, you guys. All right, I've been wanting to get through those. Now, Kathy Jackson from Iowa was, you know what, Kathy, I just saw something, Kathy. I told Kathy I was going to show off the swap cards from the customer swap. And you're going to be sad with me. Don't be sad too much. They're sitting, and I should have grabbed them. They're sitting on my counter in the mudroom. And I've already left you guys to go take care of cat situations more than I wanted to do. So Kathy is watching because she participated in the customer swap in February, and I need to show those cards off. And now that I'm thinking about it, my next live with you guys is going to be April 9th, if I'm not mistaken. I think we have, do we have share card create? Let me just look. You guys, if you're ever wondering when I have my next classes, all you have to do is go to my events calendar. And you can look. Monday the 7th, oh, I have bingo, which I'm not certain of. Oh, okay. Lucky Hand is the 9th. And then Stampin' Game Night is the 10th. All right. And I hate to do this to you, Kathy, but I'm going to, and you were probably watching all night because I said that I was going to show off the cards. You guys can tell me what to do. I'm going to do door prizes and drawings. And if you tell me to go run and grab them, I'll take 30 seconds and I'll go grab the cards. And if you guys are like, you're good, it's been a long night, I can wait and do those cards next week as well. So we are going to take about 5 to 10 minutes and we're going to rock and through some door prizes. Monthly prizes. So monthly creative challenge. Every month I have a theme out there for 3 different themes, and you guys can submit your cards. And what I do is actually Kelly has been pulling this information for me now. She gives me the list of people who submitted cards, and as long as you gotta call out the name of the stamp set and that they gotta be current Stampin' Up! Product, then I'll put you in for the drawing. So I'm gonna go to random number generator, and we had 11 drawings, 11 to put in here. So I'm gonna put 11. And I'm gonna hit the word generate. I'm gonna try to do it really good so that it does what it does on the first try. All right, number 5. 5 is Stacy Burns. All right, so Stacy Burns, you are a winner chicken dinner for the monthly creative challenge. And where you guys can find these challenges is out on my Facebook page and Cards by Christine. And if you go to the featured, I already have April out here for the class card challenge, and I have April here. And I must have unpinned the other ones, so maybe Kelly unpinned them, but the one for April is already out here. And when you click on it, what you can do is share your card. So like this coming month, it is Mother's Day Sympathy and graduation themed. And what you would do is just comment in here with a picture of your card. Same thing with the class card challenge. That's where you would submit your cards. And they have to be my card classes too. I know I have a bunch of team members that are doing classes now too. And so just, they're my cards specifically. I don't kind of canoodle with my gals on my team for prizes. So it would have to be classes that you guys register with me. And what happens is I want you guys to make your cards. You get lots of kits from me. And what I want you guys to do is be making your cards, right? And send them off or keep them, whatever you got to do. But get them made. We spend a lot of time and energy bringing kits to you, and it makes me sad to think about that they might be sitting on the floor collecting dust somewhere. So I try not to think those bad thoughts. I think happy thoughts that you guys are putting them together and that you take pictures of them when you've got them put together and you can submit them into my drawing. And so we had 16 that were submitted. And so what I'm going to do is go back to the other side and back to the other side, put in 16 here and hit generate. Number 14 goes to Mary Carls from Jericho, Wisconsin. Top fans prizes go to Pat Detlefson, Dolores Deer, and Faye Godby. Wonderful girls. So what happens in Facebook stays in Facebook. No, not really. What happens in Facebook is you guys get assigned top fan badges, and I can see them when I see comments for the most part. When I see a comment, that you guys have little gems next to your names, and it's usually, well, I'm in events, hang on. Well, that was posts. So they're there. I was just trying to see if I could show you what they look like. But when you get assigned a top fan, what we can do is get a list of them, and we can randomly scroll through and select people when our finger rolls up, and then we hit stop, and that's who gets them. So we've got those 3 people that got them for this month. share a card, recipe, create a card, inspire others. We had 8 submissions for that challenge from last month. So I'm going to put 8 in here and hit generate. You're very welcome, Mary Carls. Number 3 is Sherry Ott. Sherry, I don't know if you're still watching, but I'll have a prize for you. And how my prizes work, you guys, I'll be honest, I don't like shipping just as much as you don't like shipping, okay? I think we're all on the same page with not liking shipping. So what happens is for like the challenges and for the prizes that I give away, especially for the door prizes for which I have to do yet for tonight, for those that signed up for class tonight, I mail those prizes in your next class package, okay? So just putting that out there, that's usually what I do. Unless it's a gem or something like that, I can easily put in an envelope that there's a postage stamp on it. But I try to consolidate as much as I can for shipping for you guys. All right, mystery card. So you guys, we had a mystery card last week. I believe it was last week, Monday. And so you had a little bit less time to get it your submissions in. But we had 23. So we're going to pick a winner for that out of 23. And we're going to hit generate. Number 12 is to Donna Scholes. Yeah, Sherry, you won. Yay. This one is Donna Scholes right here. So Donna will get a prize for Mystery Card Night and the VIP. So if you're in my VIP group, you can like and share. And when you share and comment that you shared the showcase video I do, you get your name in for a drawing. So you can pick a half off bundle. So 13. All right, so Deanna Stella would get the option of a half off bundle. So speaking of half off bundles, there are about a dozen of you that were part of my sale-a-bration celebration that won a half off bundle. I would like to update you that Kelly helped me log all of my bundles into a spreadsheet, and I will be sharing that spreadsheet with those winners in the form of a Google document that you guys will get a link to, and you'll be able to sign up for the bundle that you would like to get at half off. I figured that would be the easiest and most fair thing. Then I won't miss anything, and I won't have to be coordinating back and forth. Well, oh man, you don't get it now because this person already picked it. I was looking for something that wasn't a bookkeeping nightmare for me. So I have a log. I'm going to be sharing it with everybody via email at the same time that had a chance, and you guys can sign up for which bundle you want. And then I'll figure out, like most bundles half off are $25, right? Plus a little bit for shipping. So we'll go that route. Okay, then I am going to flip this over and share with you another list. I decided to pull my list of people who ordered from me $50 or more. I'm not going to let you guys see the sales. That's why I was folding this really quick. The sales are on the other side. So we had, some of these people are on here twice, 3 times, 4 times, right? Depends on how much you ordered with me. So for every 50, it was, I think, $50 or $60. I think I did, what did I do? I did $50.25 is the lowest amount. So I went $50 and higher. And what we're going to do is I have 4 stamp sets. And they are throughout the year, softly sophisticated, textured notes, and beautiful butterflies. And what we're going to do is thank, first and foremost, Miss Pat Fleming. Pat Fleming gave me a box of stamps. And they included these 2 plus 4 more. And they've been here, and I've just been forgetting to she said, use them for prizes, you guys. So I have these 2 that we're going to do now, and we're going to do 2 later and 2 another time. And by Nancy Mole. And so I'm going to pick 4 people out of this list. Now, here's the deal. I like multiple people to win. So having your name on this list more than once just increases your odds of winning. But I want to have 4 different people win. So I'm just putting that off right off the bat, that if you get your number picked more than once, that it doesn't mean another prize for this in this instance. So we're going to put 49 in here, and we're going to hit generate. Number 40 is Laura Johnson. Okay, so then we're going to pick another one. 20, Angelique McClendon. And then number 3 is Dar McCarthy. Oh, and look at that. She's number... never mind. She's number 3. All right. Don't laugh at what I just was thinking. I was like, oh man, she's number 3 because I picked number 3. And number 14, Pat Sheep Bischoff. Oh my goodness, my friend from Staten Island. Oh, I get what I was thinking in my head. She was the third person to win, and she's number 3, is what I was thinking in my head. And then I was like, well, yes, of course she's number 3 because she's number 3. But she was the third person to win, and she was number 3 was what I was aha-ing in my head. So yay to Laura Johnson, Angelique, and we had Dar and Pat. So I have to figure out how we're going to do it. I will figure out maybe like Laura needs to pick first, but sometimes it's really hard because you guys, honestly, Laura doesn't watch me all the time that I know of. And I think I'm just going to randomly pick somebody to win these sets, and then it'll be mailed out to you. Like generally these, everybody takes classes, and Laura, I'll have to connect with you to figure it out because I don't always know when you're going to be taking your next class. So, okay, so that's done. Then I also have this from the Wildly Flowering class, which was in July of 24. I'm officially done with this class, you guys. The last kits left the hive last month, which was pretty cool. In March, the last ones left. And if you missed it, the tutorial is still available. And you can always watch the replay of this YouTube class from July 22nd, whenever you want. And drum roll, and this one's my favorite. I don't know that all of them. I loved that one. I love the layout. This goes to Sherry Ott. Oh my gosh, Sherry, it's your lucky night, girlfriend. So you have this beautiful card coming to you. This one goes to Gail Stefan, our friend from Canada. She's taken all the sweet classes that I offer with Rose, so it was really cool that your name got picked. This one goes to Kate Schuster. Kate, I don't know if I have your address. You're going to have to let me know if you want me to mail you the card. And this one goes to Carrie White. Yay, I love it. All right. So those lucky winners again are Sherry Ott, Gail Stefan, Kate Schuster, and Carrie White. Are you guys ready for a kitten sighting? Somebody awoke from the dead. Right, let's go this way. There it is. All right, one more drawing for tonight, you guys. Kitten, there's no water in there. Oh, there is water. Somebody poured water for you, buddy. All right. We're going to do a drawing. One last one on the quarterly order-based class. For somebody who placed an order to get the class for free. And unfortunately, I did not write the numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're going to put 7 into the random number generator. And this will be for a door prize drawing. Number 5 goes to Becky Gandolfo. Very good job, Becky Gandolfo. I love it. All right. Another class, another YouTube Live in the books. We had no technology problems, you guys, but we had young twin kitten problems. Our Hunky and our Honey were giving me lots of issues, and so you guys joined in late. You'll have to catch that earlier. They got the boot. Not really, I didn't boot them, but I did carry them nicely into the house, and that's where they resided. And Bigger Tigger, hi buddy, you look like you have dreamy, sleepy, McDreamy eyes. He's been sleeping on the chair, being a good big boy, and he just, he's looking at me like these little slanty eyes, like, Mom, you're talking too much. Hi, Ida. All right. So we did good, though, you guys. We got our 4 cards made. We got lots of the monthly drawings done. I will be live with you next week, Thursday, all right? The game night is next week. I do not have any kits left, okay? And just a reminder, if you wanted to get in touch with me about the Thoughtful Wishes, Memories, and More class, and you're watching the replay, now you should know that I won't see it in the comments. You should reach out to me privately and let me know. So at the moment, I realized that we had 4 people that are interested. I have 1 left over at the moment, but I would definitely consider making a grouping of 4 to 8 if it works. So, all right. So, guys, I don't know if I had anything else, but we did good. Thanks for spending your Thursday night with me or catching me on the replay. I really appreciate it. Lots of sunshine, love, and big hugs to you. The next time I come back to you guys, I am going to be sharing with you the projects that we're going to be making for the Stampin' Fun in the Sun in June. That's what I'm going to be working on this weekend with my friend Amanda Waldhart. So I'm excited to come back and share that with you. A reminder for my team, the Be Happy Stampers, we have our team meeting on Sunday at 3 o'clock Central via Zoom or in person. And we also have the team auction before it at 1:30. So make sure to join me for that and make sure you RSVP for your spot at both. I appreciate that. All right, guys, good night. And you're going to see me Monday morning. Oh, yes! You're right, Mary Carls. We are working on making the cards for the MS benefit for those that want made cards. We are in the process of putting 24 sets together of those 6 cards. So I'll see you on Monday morning. All right, you guys, love ya. Bye.